Right, chat. Oh, that's what I get for running my hands through my hair when I first start. Poor choices. Welcome, everyone. I see the YouTube chat. Oh no, it disconnected just for Alex's comment. Reconnected. I gotta remember that. Gotta remember that, chat. Every now and again that happens. I don't know what it is. So the reason we're like 2-3 minutes late is because
Hello there.
hello there is because you got a cold? No, I'm just tired, man. I'm tired. It was a busy day today. The reason I'm late is because I started the stream, or I start the software for the stream. Streamlabs is what I use right now to help multi-stream. Then, as I start up, it's like, we're going to upgrade you. Or not upgrade you, update you. I was like, I don't want it. I was like, cancel. They're like, okay, updating now. I was like, no, cancel. And it wouldn't cancel. So I was like, okay, whatever. So updated. You have to re-log into everything. Okay, fine. So I updated that, and then I put up the chat thing, like this software. So I open that. It needs to update. And I'm like, oh my God, okay. So it updates. And then it does this whole update thing. And it's like, now you need to log into all your accounts. I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever. But they weren't saved, all the passwords. And I have 2-factor authentication on for everything because I've had hacks before, so I just do it. So I'm like sitting there on my app, like type in the numbers, go into this one, type in the numbers, go into this one, type in the numbers, get the text message, blah, 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 blah. So we're a little late because of that. We're a little late because D20 was being distracted by the internets. And yeah. Do I do have an alert already? Your microphone is muted, no signal. Whatever. It's not muted. That's 5 minutes ago. It doesn't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, what is it? Midweek already? Whew. Sheesh. Crazy, chat. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Alex was first to chat. Welcome. Hopefully you're doing well. Gee, I wonder how D20 feels about Falcon. I was editing the video today. That was my rant. And I was like, oh man, I need to post this soon before the actual review comes out. Because everything that's in this live stream, so if you're coming in, you're like, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it through this entire thing. Obviously, the live stream will be up there and you can just watch it later. But I will chop off the review parts so I can have content and make more monies on the YouTube. Because you got to make that 60 cents a day, baby. Let's go. So yeah, maybe it'll change. Probably not. Tiger Forever, welcome to chat. Seems like you blew through Obscur. Clair Obscur pretty quickly up to now. About how many hours invested? Let me look. To beat the game took me 26.3 hours. And that's including about like 3 hours of just like leveling for funsies. I went through it really quickly. And I beat it. And then like you can either do a new game plus or set the game right before like the end of it. So I'm right before the end of it. So I want to go collect all the costumes and stuff. Because like I'll get into the review of the game later because I'm going to talk a bit about it. Because you know, content. But I'm going to try to collect all the costumes and whatnot, and some of the other like big stuff I've missed. And like I didn't do certain like leveling with like characters that I want to do and stuff like that. So I'm going to go back and do that. Then I'm going to do New Game Plus. But I want to beat Stellar Blade first. I'm right near the end of Stellar Blade too. So I want to beat that. So at least that's done. Because I'm trying to collect pretty much everything in the first playthrough of Stellar Blade. It's pretty... Well, not everything, but like 90% of it I'm trying to collect on the first playthrough. And I'm on track. It just takes a lot of time. So Stellar Blade, for example, I have 23.7 hours in. And I'm probably like 5-6 hours from end game if I just bull rushed it. So I probably got like 10 more hours still to play it. So I'm hoping to get back into that. And then I got Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers, which is another Souls-like game from a first-time studio. And it was a little rough on release day. Actually, it was pretty rough on release day. But they've done a lot of patches and stuff and really kind of cleaned it up. So I'm going to work on that eventually, but it's a really tough game. So I'm probably going to wait a little bit on that. But those are like my big 3 that I'm playing right now. I'm still playing through Final Fantasy 9 OG. I'm still playing through Yakuza. But those are like things you can just like kind of pop in and out. You know what I mean? So... My only hero this expansion was going to be Bucky only, like the character since We Tiger Day, We Tigger Days. Playing through Bugs Bunny Lost in Time on my PS1, fast switch responses are rusty. Researching a new mech battler called Zero Terra. Gundam Fever looks promising. Also, Rise of Myths, Cthulhu Mythos type game. Her Rise of Myths. I think I've heard that too. Could be iffy. Game to back. 99 Ninja. Oh, so Tiger Forever. I think it said welcome. 99 Ninjas. Welcome to chat. Hopefully we're doing well. Okay. Falcon doesn't have any great win cons compared to his set cards to Maria Hill or Winter Soldier. They have ways to close the game out. Falcon is a multiplayer hero, period, in my opinion. I've considered buying into Rise of the Phoenix, similar to Marvel Champions, but fantasy themed. Rise of the Phoenix. Hold on. It's on the Amazons. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. Interesting. Oh, I'm trying to catch up till we get to like when we started. Never been a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Might try that game. Arkham just hasn't landed for me. Lord of the Rings game like is mostly theme. Like honestly, if you don't like Lord of the Rings, I don't think it's worth it in my opinion. Since I started Warhammer 40k, Marvel Crisis Protocol seems like a good, similar game to get. Those minis are Warhammer choke-worthy, though. I never got into Crisis Protocol. I know some people have played it and have liked it. I think they've been in chat, but I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I've just got a few friends interested in MCP, also coming from 40k. Marvel Champions, or MCP, is an amazing game. I leave to grab food and I come back to see Tiger blowing up the chat. Easy rules, tons of interaction, alternating activations is just better. Over time, I've realized that I really like alternating activations, like just to keep people engaged. Like I think that's such a better way of doing things. Shield Wall Strategist, totally not Honorable Viking. It took me a minute to realize who you were. Hopefully you're doing well, man. Good to see you. We started our first day at school. No kids yet, just in-service stuff. Nice. Wait, that seems really early. Oh, wait. You're down south, right? I feel like south starts early. We don't start until like late August, early September. Jersey starts like second week of September. Alex is playing Final Girl Into the Void last night. Holy cow, what a banger. Who wants a little breakdown on how the game went? I do. Which one's Into the Void? Which movie is that? Also, we got this cool Galaxy projector for my son. I gotta get one for my classroom. That's awesome. They have some of the stuff they have for like kids is crazy. Laura, welcome to the chat. Hopefully you're doing well. Good old Laura. It's always good to see you here because you're bringing up my 1%. About in the live streams, we have just about 1% of our viewership is female. So Laura, well, I'm assuming Laura. I'm sorry. I shouldn't assume, I guess, but I'm assuming you're bringing up my count, and I appreciate that. I assume Final Girl lives up to the hype. I haven't played it, but would love to give it a shot someday. It is phenomenal. It is, honest to God, phenomenal. The problem with Final Girl is that I really feel like you need a few boxes. The reason being is because like if you just get like this, if you get the core box, right, you can't play anything. It's just a box with like stuff in it. You have to get like the scenario boxes, right? If you buy one set of them, you're pretty good, right? And I don't mean like it has to be all from series 1. Like you can get series 2 or series 3. Like you can mix and match. As long as you have that core box, you're fine. So you can mix and match whatever you want. But I do think having like 3, 4, 5 different scenario boxes really helps, because being able to take like, you know, the Terminator and put it into like Stranger Things area, like watching the different interactions is really good, and I think adds a lot of flavor to or adds a lot of life to the game, I should say. Like mixes up the interactions. You don't have to do that. I don't even do that half the time, but I also have like 15, 16, 17 scenarios to play, so I don't quite need to as much, but that's a lot of money and I get it, you know what I mean? So it's really good. It's really good. There is luck involved. You can mitigate the luck. It's much better than Hostage Negotiator. I love Hostage Negotiator, But Hostage Negotiator is a lot of luck that does not go in your favor. Ever. It's just, I mean, for those that have been in the live stream with the Hostage Negotiator stuff, I mean, basically, you know, my wife left me and a married woman hit on me and I think we had an affair. Like, it didn't go well. Let's just say that. It didn't go well for me. My car broke down, I think. But yeah, so it's definitely, anyway, Final Girl is really good. I still want them to do the campaign for it because the Hostage Negotiator campaign is one of the best things I've ever played in my life. Just very frustrating because you lose all the time. Tiger Forever's retired. Putting together minis and painting has taught me patience and expectations to level. Highly recommend. Man, I feel like I'm so judgy of myself that I could never be like a good or decent painter because I'll just get upset. Pretty good solo game. Ariel, welcome to chat. Hope you're doing well. My wife wants to play Final Girl. Any recommendations on what to get first? Get whatever theme thing is the most fun. Like, I love Terminator, so I would get that, right? Whatever the theme is, get it. There are certain ones that are much harder. So like Hans is the easiest by far, but it's very, very nice to like learn. So it is a good box to get first because the rules are very straightforward. There's not a lot to deal with, and that's kind of nice. So wait. Okay, wait. Let's just make this official. Let's make this an official thing. Okay. So let's do a quick breakdown of Final Girl and what I would recommend to people getting into the game, right? So let's go through series 1. So obviously the first main thing you need, right, is the core box, right? Is this box. Now this box, like they say, is not playable. It just houses everything you need, and it has like the dice, the cards, the yada yada yada. You need this box. So obviously get that box first and foremost. I would also recommend early on getting Happy Trail Horror with Hans. The reason being is because it's so straightforward. So a lot of these boxes later on have a lot of additional rules that get added on top of the game. This box, from what I remember, has no additional rules, right? You just play the game and the scenario works itself. That doesn't make it easy. It doesn't make it so that like you get bored of it quickly. It's just nice to kind of ease your way into. So I highly recommend. Again, you can usually find this bundled with the core box for cheaper than the two prices combined. So FYI. Check Manor is fine, but it's really hard. Slaughter in the Groves also really hard. The Puppet's really hard as well. Frightmare I think is easier, but it has a really weird card mechanic where you like slide cards around. So out of these, obviously horror first. Chuck Banner's not bad. It's just like weird to like, once you understand her hook and her mechanic, it gets easier, but it takes a bit. Inkanyamba was really tough. I just remember like losing a lot. Like I remember dying a lot. Carnival, I remember like the little puppets just being like a bit much. But Frightmare, again, it's not that it's easy. I don't know. There's something about Freddy Krueger, not Freddy Krueger. That was just like a good mechanic and fun. But there is like a whole sliding card thing that I can't explain. You just have to kind of watch. I have videos on it if you want to watch it. That's pretty cool. So all decent games, all fine, whatever. As far as the next one, I think there's a lot of really good ones in this box. Like Into the Void with the Evomorph, I think is phenomenal. Now, I am a Alien fan, so I'm a little biased with it, but I think it's really, really good. Knock at the Door with the Intruders actually wasn't too bad, but it's kind of weird because you're fighting like 3 guys at once. Panic at Station 2891, I've only done once, and there's like a whole ice thing or something. I don't really remember it super well, but I remember it being like fine. I just don't remember it very well. The Wolf was pretty cool. I thought it was tough, but I thought it was like a fair fight and pretty good. So I would recommend that. And Ratchet Lady, I like because it's kind of like a twist on Resident Evil, like the scenario is, or Silent Hill, depending on which it really is. Which I really like because I like Resident Evil and Silent Hill and stuff like that. So I liked it a lot. But it is like she is tough. Like she is tough, but I think really, really fun. And it's a scenario I personally enjoyed over and over. Then lastly, with Series 3, Terminator I loved. I love it. But again, I'm biased toward the Terminator, so that was absolutely phenomenal. I thought the scenario was fun. I thought the area was cool. I thought his whole mechanic was neat and how it works. I think is really, really phenomenal. Razorface was fine. the shifting room gimmick is what I remember the most, and it was interesting. But I felt like Razorface wasn't too difficult and too hard. The Falconwood Files was the only one from this set I didn't care about because I'm not a Stranger Things fan. So like the scenario was fine. It just like it just didn't do anything for me. Like, there was nothing special about it. The Don't Make a Sound thing was really cool. I don't even like Tremors that much, which I think is what the landscape is based off of the movie, or Dune, I guess. But it was a really cool scenario. I thought this was really fun how this worked. I thought it was good challenges. And then the Saw one, I think with the puzzles, we did that recently on stream. Absolutely phenomenal. Highly recommend. I think that was really good. The only one we're missing out on, and the chat mentioned it, is the North Pole one. The North Pole was the bane of my existence. I struggled with the North Pole. Oh, there it is. Nightmare, Krampus North Pole Nightmare. I struggled hard with this scenario. I mean, it still kicks my butt to this day. So it's really, really bad. So anyway, if you'd ask me what I would get if I was to buy it all again, Happy Trails, Frightmare, Void, Madness, maybe the Wolf if I have extra money, but that was probably one of the last ones I got. Terminator, and Saw, and maybe Don't Make a Sound. That's roughly what I would do, right? But yeah, really, you can't go wrong. Again, I would always start with Camp Happy Trails, just because of how well it eases you into the game. After that, if you just go, hey, I don't like any of those things thematically, I'd rather play like this kind of horror with a poltergeist, then go that route, right? Just go to one that interests you. Like, yes, it will be hard and difficult, but the games don't take that long. Once you set it up, you can play through a couple games in like a night and whatnot. It's I'm not a big like theme person generally speaking, but I think it's a really well done theme overall. Pretty much every single box is. So go with theme. Anyway, those are my recommendations. Thank you, chat, for letting me do that YouTube video really quick. 60 cents. Let's go. Okay, Final Girl is a killer game. You die a lot. The secret of Final Girl. Here's the secret with Final Girl. And I say this every single stream. Always be focusing. It is the strongest card in the game, and I'll fight anyone that says differently. Always be focusing. If you're struggling in Final Girl, you need to focus. That card is going to get you to get more dice. More dice equal better chance of getting better results. Better results equal winning. That's really it. And that's like the biggest secret to the game. Once you grasp that concept and you align your entire life behind trying to get to 3 dice, you're going to be in a much better position. And now, since I've done that, my win rate used to be like 20%. It's probably like 60 or 70% now. Again, I don't win. It isn't guaranteed to win because sometimes you just get murdered in the face. But it definitely helps. It definitely helps. Hello there. 19 seconds, you got a cold, man. I'm hanging in there. Thumbnail Critic, welcome to chat. Hopefully you're doing well. Raymond, welcome to chat. After watching a Falcon gameplay, all I learned is that we need more tokens. Always need tokens. Make sure to use my link. Make sure to get all the tokens in the world. 5% off. Let's go. 60 cents a day can be a game changer. Well, let's see. If I make 60 cents a day, times that by 365 days. Bro, it's $219. It's like 2 weeks of groceries, man. I'll take that every day. Stellar Blade is the game about a blade that's stellar. I think she's more stellar than anything else, but she does have a blade and she chops things in half, which makes me happy. So I got that going for me. I'm here for Stellar. Both seem to be in my wheelhouse. What? Stellar Blade and Expedition 33? Yeah, they're two. I mean, they very much two different games, but they are for sure phenomenal. I forgot to put a poll question up. Make sure you like chat if you haven't liked it. We got to trick people in here. Did you like... Yes. What should we talk about today? Yes. I love Clair. Obscur. There we go. Put the poll up. Tricks them all. Tricksy hobbits. I heard it was pretty rough on release. Wuchang. Yeah. Yeah. Like, so I didn't play the first 5 days of it existing. And all I saw was the negative reviews. I was like, oh no. Oh no. I pre-ordered this. Oh no. I was like, whatever. I pre-ordered games in my life that just gone poorly. Whatever. Right. So I played it after its most recent patch happened. And I was like, oh, like there's little hiccups here and there, but it's fine now. Like I mean, again, it's not perfect by any means. There's still little issues that nag, but it is not as bad as like it was. I'm assuming because I didn't play it like its first few days. But it's enjoyable. It's just really tough because you can't block with a bunch of weapons, which is really weird because I made it through Dark Souls and Demon Souls games and Elden Ring, I guess, because I could block. And like only one of her weapons can block, the rest can't, which is really weird. Like it's a really weird thing. So you have to be really good at dodging. So that was kind of weird. Laura says, I was looking around FFG's site today. Anyone played Legend of Five Rings? Where's Beast now? Where's Beast now? His ears should be ringing. I haven't heard anything about it. So Legend of Five Rings is, I think, one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen in my life. I think they're discontinuing it. So if you can find anything, pick it up. There's only one box, I think, that makes it soloable. And wait, Laura, hold on. I know in my newsletter I had it. One of their expansions they were selling for $1. And I don't know if they still are. I have to look it up. Oh, it's up to $3. Yeah, so like they're doing a bunch of things where it's oh wait, hold on. It's not gonna work there. Here we go. Here's the link to it. But yeah, they're selling the expansion to it. I don't know which expansion it is. Children of the Empire. I know nothing about it. Beast and I would have to talk about it. But yeah, they're clearancing things out. But it's $3 for the expansion. Like literally $3. Not like D20's making stuff up again. It is $3. So yeah, I think Beaston has played it and I think he really likes it. It's just really tough to get certain things. So you can't play it solo anymore because the expansions you need, just like, or the one expansion you need is like impossible to get from what I understand. Into the Void, totally not alien, totally not alien. Totally not alien. Okay. Into the Void is alien? No, it's totally not alien. Copyright laws say that it's not alien. It reminds me of Austin Powers. They're like, it's Godzilla. And they're like, due to international copyright law, it's not Godzilla, but we should pretend it is. Same as that time. When do you all get out of school for summer break? June? Early June? Maybe mid-June. I think mid-June. Laura, I'm indeed female. Glad to help out. Thank God. I didn't need that on my conscience of doing that and people hating on me. But thank you for helping out. Cheers. Final Girl is all that in a bag of whatever your favorite food is. Yo, so random thing about my life. I recently had the taco version of Doritos. So it's called late night taco or something like that. It legit tastes like a taco. I don't know how Doritos figured it out to make a corn chip taste like a taco, and not just like the tortilla, not just the meat. Like it legit tastes like tortilla, meat, lettuce, tomato, and a little bit of sauce on it on a corn chip. I don't know how they did it. It's phenomenal. Highly recommend if you like tacos, but it is a little weird to think about. So Alien was 3/3 stat level of Bloodlust. 1 tarot card left. Ripley had 2 hearts plus the heart token. Alien gets to reveal their heart token to 3 extra life. Classic. Thanks for Final Girl breakdown. Absolutely. Let us know if you make sure you join Discord if you haven't yet. Hopefully that goes to YouTube too. I don't think that does. Stupid commands. There we go. Let us know your experiences. We talk about it on there now and again. But yeah, it used to be in Barnes & Noble cheap, and then Miniature Market runs sales and stuff too. It's okay, man. I'm just chilling with your inner Bob Ross, and it's all happy clouds and happy trees and happy painting. Keep the horror level at a health 0-1. Kept rolling triple successes for scan to bring alien back to like keep heading it. Finishing with a Furious Strike. Nice. No key card tokens on the board. Bottom right escape pod had a hull breach turn 2. 2 victims plus the orphan left on board. Alien killed 3. Furnace killed 1. Ripley saved 3. That ain't bad. I usually let everyone just die. I feel less of a gamer. I got Final Girl season and haven't opened any scenarios yet. That's fine. I feel like most board gamers don't open half the games they have. Slaughter in the Groves is so difficult. Yeah. Keith, Inky, also welcome, Mark. I don't think I said hi. Inky is just nasty. I think the Carnival one's great season 2. I think the Alien one is amazing. So is the one based off the Thing. Actually, in Ratchet Lady, the one I think is the weakest of a lot of the Full Moon one is the Werewolf. I remember liking the Werewolf. I have to go back and try it again, though, to be fair. Krampus North Pole always kicked me. Dude, so tough. I struggle so hard with that one. I agree with the first feature film. It eases you in the game. Then agree, pick your horror. Yeah, just pick what you want. Next week, Terror from the Grave zombie vignette is coming in the mail. Let's go. I haven't even done half the vignettes. I think I did the first one with the birds. And I never did whatever the second and third one was. And I haven't even messed with some of the others. Like, there's so many like little things. Like the tears tracker and the blah, blah, blah. Whatever there is. Focus is awesome. Yeah. Proof is in the pudding with focusing. That's how I won, is focus on focusing. That and investing in guard and retaliate. Keyword retaliate. Have you heard this new game? Hey, Peter, how's it going? Vantage is something that you're into. So I assume you mean the Stonemaier Games one. I've heard of it, sure. Mainly because Jamie Stegmaier is the master of marketing. He's very, very good at it, right? Stonemaier Games is incredibly good at marketing. And Jamie is in general, too. Have I heard about it? Yes. Have I researched it? Yes. Am I into it? I'm into the idea of it. But here's the thing with Stonemaier Games. I feel like Stonemaier hasn't really come out with a game that I've been truly impressed with for a while now, right? So wait. Let's look at their games really fast. So Vantage, I obviously haven't played with. I'm going to look at it. I'll explain more in detail. Finspin, I don't care about fish. I don't care if the mechanics are better. Don't care. I don't care about fish. Tokaido is a reprint that he's doing. I think so is Stamp Swamp. Or yeah, Stamp Swamp I think is a reprint. Not a reprint, but like someone else's game that they're printing. I'm not sure. But I remember playing Tokaido once and liking it. Apiary, I have no interest in, whatever. Rolling Realms was a print and play. It's fine. Expeditions I never played because I have Scythe and never felt the need to play Expeditions. Now, Viticulture, great game. Very basic game. It's one of my favorite games to get people into. I didn't realize they had a cooperative expansion. Shoot, I should get that. It's a game I love to get people into for worker placements. And I credit Jamie Stegmaier with this. I think this is one of the best worker placement games to introduce to people, right? Because people like wine. People understand you get a couple of things, you put it out there, you make some wine, right? Like it's just the whole thing makes sense to a lot of people, I think. So that's good. Scythe I like, but it's such a weird mechanic because the whole point of Scythe, in my opinion, is dudes on the map trying to fight over each other. And because Jamie doesn't believe in conflict, which is really kind of awkward, especially for this type of game, you can play the entire dudes on the map without ever attacking each other and like do really well, which seems weird to me, right? Like thematically weird. I'm fine with a game like that existing, but like if I'm going to power up these awesome mech things, it should probably be to murder other mechs. And like the game doesn't really reward you that much for doing that. Like it kind of is not great to do that. So it feels weird. Again, I love the art. I've played the solo campaign, which I think is really worth playing as well. Rise of Fenris was a lot of fun. There's a lot of really cool things. I won't spoil in it, but it's worth going through if you're a Scythe fan. Absolutely amazing. The other two expansions are fine. The boat's fine, whatever. That's my biggest complaint with that game. Tapestry was Sudoku with some stuff on a thing. Can't stand the game. I sold it. I didn't think it was a very good game. I thought there was too much going on, too much nonsense. Didn't enjoy the game. It was another one that was super hyped and I just had high expectations for it and fell flat. Wingspan I actually don't mind. I just don't love. Like people treat it like it's the greatest game that's ever graced this earth. No. Now I love birds. I'm 100% team bird. We have a nest of robins outside And you bet your butt I'm out there watching them every single day. One just flew away today. And I'm really rooting for that bird. I love watching birds. This game is fine, right? I like the theme. The mechanics fine. In the original game, the last round was always really awkward because it was super boring. And the expansions have fixed it, but then you got to buy expansions to fix the game. It's a fine game. I would never play it again 3 or 4 players. Dear God, I don't want to play a bird game for like 2.5 hours. We were playing with people that knew how to play, and it still took a long time. Wasn't worth it. Solo game is actually not that bad of a solo game. Wormspan we haven't played yet, but I really want to. Libertalia I haven't played. Between Two Castles, I'm not a big Between Two Castles or Two Cities guy. We played them once. I don't remember that much about it. I remember playing and just going, ugh, whatever. Pendulum is a cool idea, but the game falls flat because one of the, like, there's 3 little sand timers, and there's a manufacturing error, and the one sand timer doesn't work half the time, which is really bad when you need them to work to keep track of things. Like, it will work for a little while and then the sand gets stuck. It was really frustrating and annoying. But I liked the mechanic. I liked what it was trying to do. It just, the components weren't good, which is just a huge disappointment because I think Jamie does a really good job with his components 99% of the time, right? But other than that, it's like a fine game. Euphoria, I think, is actually not bad. But again, it's got like a lot of random things going on. I like dice worker placement a lot more than regular work placement. So I liked it more than like Viticulture. But it didn't do anything super special or whatever. Charterstone, it was a legacy game and it came out during the legacy game hyped. And it was just, fine, whatever. My Little Siphon that I played. And Red Rising. Bought this game, I think, for $8. And the collector's edition for $8 because no one wanted to buy it. It's fine. Like, I think it's a fine game. I think it's fine for what it is. I think it just is a super basic game. Like, super basic. And just, like, random stuff happening everywhere. I don't know how well it relates to the books or not. I know Novels likes it more than I do. It's a fun little game to have with a group of friends that get the general gist of board games. I think it's fine. But that, Red Rising, in general, is my biggest complaint with his games, is I feel like his games are very surface level. Like, there's not a ton of strategy going into it. Like, it's all of his games so far have really felt like, because he wants everyone to feel really good when they play. And I get it. I get why he does it. He wants everyone to feel really good. So he keeps all of like the take that's away. So it feels like I'm doing a lot of solo stuff and I just happen to be scoring against you. So I'm playing my own little game, you know, doing my own little thing. It doesn't really affect you that much. Viticulture was one of the few times where it did, because like if I took your spot, you couldn't go there. And you know, that was like the one thing that was quote unquote bad feeling. But yeah, he feels like he doesn't want player interaction because that creates conflict and he doesn't like conflict. I'm pretty sure he stated this in a YouTube video that he doesn't really like conflict. So that's always been my biggest issue with his games. And I like them. I don't mind them as solo, I should say. Like Scythe solo, Rise of Fenris was fantastic. Highly recommend. Wingspan solo is good. Viticulture solo is okay. Wormspan, I'll give it a try. So Vantage, I would play as a solo game. I don't really expect much as a multiplayer game. So does it catch my eye? Yeah. But like all of his other games, they eventually go on sale on Amazon or whatever for like a fraction of the price. I'm just going to wait for it then, to be completely honest. So at some point, will I play it? Yeah, I'll play it. But it's not something that I'm like really gung-ho about. I haven't even looked at the reviews of it yet. I mean, I don't really care about Board Game Geek that much because it's so lopsided. It's just a popularity contest, which is really frustrating. Yeah, this is 8.7, which seems crazy to me. That's rated that high, but sure. Maybe. I don't know. Have you played any more Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy Starter? I play an arena and white deck rules. I have not yet, unfortunately. I am looking. The Commander decks are finally starting to come down in price on eBay, so I am looking at those right now. Let's talk about Retaliate. Hey, Ziggy, how's it going? Ziggy's late. Laura, yeah, I just saw the $3 thing. I think it's what got me wondering about it. Yeah. I saw it too. And I was like, do I have to invest? What's the base price for the base game? I can jump into another card game for $3. Well, you could buy a bunch of the packs for $2. You could buy 12 of one pack because everybody wants that. I don't know. I can't find it quickly. Maybe because it's hard to find now. Oh, boy. Ah, boy. Let me see if I can find it. All right, there it is. Out of print. Naturally. Why would it not be out of print? Why would FFG keep anything in print? Legend of the Five Rings card game base set. Let's see. You can find it on eBay for 25 bucks. Noble Knight for 70. Poshmark for 18. Used. So yeah, it's like 30, 40 bucks probably on eBay. If I remember, you and Novels play Witcher the Old World? Nope. We have not. We play Witcher Unmatched, if that's what you're talking about. But not like the standalone Witcher game. I kind of want it, but... Nathan, I feel like you recalled your message, and I'm still going to read it. I'm torn between Spirit Island and Aeon's End. Do you have an opinion? What are you playing? 2-player or solo? Solo, Spirit Island. 2-player, Aeon's End. Aeon's End is really good, but I think you need some of the expansions. The core box doesn't feel as good as like some of the other stuff. Let me phrase it. You don't need the expansions. You should just get one of the other boxes, but the core box is really good at like introducing the game. Because I think all the boxes are standalone, if I remember correctly. But Aeon's End is very good. I played it once solo, but I played it more so a 2-player, and I enjoyed it, a 2-player. But solo, I still think Spirit Island is top 5 solo game. Sorry if you didn't want me to read that message. Definitely always be focusing, and on occasion we have a distraction. My problem is that I get so pumped to play Final Girl, but never have the time to play it. I see so many games and need to downsize and focus on the games I really want to play, like Final Girl. Yeah, Mark, I've been putting up a bunch of my games up on eBay because I'm like, I just need to sell them. I need to get rid of them. And I've sold a bunch, which has been really nice, obviously for income purposes too. But I agree, because I have like all these games that like just I'm never gonna get to the table. Like I'm just not gonna get these to the table. So what's the point, you know? So I think I think that's my moving forward. There's like I probably want to sell like half my collection. I think personally I'm kind of really tired of like the nonstop shoving new games down my throat with like nothing that's interesting about it. Like if I'm going to buy a new game, it's got to be interesting, right? You got to bring something new to the table. And I feel like so many big companies are just kind of phoning it in now at this point, where they just like, they're just kind of coming out with the same exact thing, or just like endless expansions with their one hit. Like this is my gripe against Van Ryder. Like I know Van Ryder's trying to get other, games going and stuff, but like they just haven't been able to because Final Girl's their thing. So like I get the situation they're stuck in, right? Where it's like, well, you have to like make money, so you have to do this thing. But like it feels like they put no time into like the other games, so like they never flourish. It's a really weird spot, and it's not one I envy for sure. But I don't know. I'm tired. I'm tired of games. You know what I mean? Wraith and the Giants came in the mail. Going to be cracking that when I get home. I'm not addicted to buying games. I can stop whenever I want. That's the spirit. I trust you. I was going to get Vantage, but got Gundam TCG stars and more Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Love me some TCGs. Not good for my wallet. I love TCGs. I know like there's this weird thing in like the tabletop space where like TCGs equal bad. I don't care. They're fun. They're fun. They're easy to teach, easy to play. They're thematic. Cool. That was my one complaint about Scythe. The combat was just like whatever, dude. It was such a weird feeling. And again, I like Scythe. Like I have the big box. I have everything for that game. I really enjoy Scythe. It's just like I'll play with guys or gals who like quote unquote play board games, and they'll be like, wait, it's penalizing me for fighting? Why? Oh, Beast Snow, quickly. Laura, if Laura's still here, she was asking about Legend of the Five Rings. I think you played it? Question mark? I like the Dune games as worker placement games. It's a deep game. Dude, all I hear is good things about Dune. I will get that game. I will get that game. Just Not yet. I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale, but I for sure want to get it. Vantage looks interesting, but I just dumped a wheel bowl full of money into Ash's Ascendancy. Let's go. I almost guarantee Ash's Ascendancy will be better for you than Vantage. No one will talk about Vantage in a year. Ash's Ascendancy will live on for a lifetime. If I have to do it by myself, so be it. I'm here for the word bird. Been diving into Ravensburger Library recently, picked up Genie and the Houdini, and went to give Mothman a try since he destroyed me. I have to get that out. I want to play Unmatched Solo. It's not gonna say anything. Okay. Oh, so thank you for your Prime sub, dude. 19 months. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Thomas Jefferson voice. What I miss? Mongers, nothing yet. We're just talking. Gingineer 07s, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. The commander prices on TCG player isn't that bad. Ooh, okay, I have to look at that. I'm torn between Aeon's End and Spirit Island. What do you think? Heck, I'm looking for a solo co-op game that's more like medieval fantasy. Ooh. Aeon's End is definitely more medieval fantasy, for sure. Spirit Island works really well solo or co-op. You trying to work together. Whoever you're playing with has to like get heavier games. Because Spirit Island's a heavy game, right? To like learn your like thing, like what you do, is really tough. Like it's really tough. Well, let me rephrase that. That's not fair. Some of them are really tough. Others are like less tough, but still hard. You know what I mean? Like none are like super easy, but it's doable, I guess. So yeah, so just know that going into it. If you want an easier game, not Ashes, Aeon's End is easier. It's not like an easy game, but it's definitely easier. And I think it's worth doing if you want to be like a more casual experience. I just need card games. Cards are life, dude. Cards are the best. Half the reason I picked up Vantage was because of how different it looks than so much that's out there. Does it? What's different about it? There was nothing that jumped out to me as different, but to be fair, very cursory look. To me, it looked like an exploration game. Which I felt like, isn't that like Earthborn Rangers? But I haven't looked at it. Man, he does have good art though. Whatever artists he hire, they're top 5. Doing Uprising plus expansion bloodlines is peak wonder placement worker. Ugh, I'll have to look into it. What site do you put your games to sell? I'll check out Contemplate Buying. I put for mine eBay. I don't even know what I have up there still. I think I have it on Discord, what I have for sale on the eBay, but I'm not sure. I like Legend of the Five Rings pretty deep. I wish I got the solo co-op they came out with before it went out of stock and possibly get. Yeah. I know people struggle with that. Favorite character and unmatched for The Witcher? I mean, Ciri's probably the best. I mean, Geralt's fine because it's Geralt, right? But Ciri's probably the strongest and best one. Yennefer and Triss together was actually kind of interesting because I wasn't sure how they were going to do it. And I thought it worked pretty well. So I enjoyed that. Like, I didn't think it was going to like work that well, but are you pricing your games on eBay at top market or competitively? Top 90% probably. Because I have them all sitting in their boxes down, like in ready to ship boxes downstairs in my basement. So they can just chill. And if they happen to sell, they sell. And what I've noticed is I price them whatever now at like near top. And over time, because the games get rarer, everyone else keeps raising their prices and I just keep mine the same. Because if it sells for the amount that was before, then I'm really happy with it. But there's certain ones, like I'll probably start dropping the prices on a couple of them because I just want to get rid of them. But let's say if a game is supposed to sell for like $100, is priced at $100, I sell it for like 80. Plus there's like shipping and whatnot. The worry with Spirit Island is how much longer we think it will be available. Hard to say right now. You have no clue. That's the problem. I know Eric Rouse, right? That's the guy's name that designed it. I know he, I guess, has a stake in it. And has said that like he is going to like make sure it keeps going. Hold on, let me see if I can find my stuff on eBay. I'm not logged in on this computer. Hold on. Here we go. I found D20 Woodworking. You can see what I'm selling some of this stuff for. There's the listings. It's a bunch of Pokemon cards. Which is a lot of Pokemon cards. I played against Mothman with Tesla and Golden Blatt. Think I'm doing fine. It wasn't bad. Big dude and minions hit hard. No way I'm going to get this giant spider on board. I also recommend Destinies for a solo fantasy medieval adventure game. Nice. Tainted Grail, medieval to the max. The only thing is I heard about Tainted Grail, and I never played through the whole thing, so I have no idea for sure. So I might be totally full of it. So take it with a grain of salt. I guess there's a section in Tainted Grail where you kind of just go back and forth a lot, and people really hated that part. That's all I know. That's all I remember about. Table Hogger, yeah. That's how it was with Etherfields. Etherfields takes a huge portion of the table. I mean, I like it, but there are like issues with the game. I want to play it on stream again. The art on match cards is incredible. Dude, goated. Absolutely goated art. The new Lord of the Rings game looks cool from Z-Man Games. It's a 3-hour game, but not as bad as the War of the Ring. War of the Ring was like 8 hours. Rouse has said it'll keep going for whatever that's worth, whatever that means. I hope he means that he has rights to it, but yeah, we just don't know. William, welcome to chat. You ever play Marvel Rivals? We played it a bunch on this channel back in the day when it first came out. We played with viewers and stuff, but I haven't played it in like months now because I've been so busy with other games. So will I play it again at some point? Probably. I just don't know when. It's an amazing dice tower. Nice. Yeah, hopefully that should be my eBay site, so it should work. 8 hours for War of the Ring or Twilight Imperium. Dude, Twilight Imperium is next level. So that's just not even fair. All right. Hold on, chat. I am gonna be right back. Truckload of fun though. Yeah, I hear it's a good game. I think Nelson's really into it, if I remember correctly. All right. Twitch, I'm gonna have words on stream for you. YouTube, don't leave me. When I come back, we'll do review Clair Obscur and whatnot. I just have to take care of something really fast. But I'll be right back. Okay, don't leave. We'll review Clair Obscur, and then right after that, we'll do Winter Soldier and whatnot. Come up with good questions, and I'll answer when I come back. Yay! All right, be right back. Good job, chat. You're crushing it so far. I mean, I'm not gonna talk about the first time y'all did this, but after that, yeah. Oh, my YouTube viewers are leaving already. Gosh, YouTube. Wait, William, does it actually work well? If you want a good medieval game, Pendragon is the best RPG in the genre. I'd be happy to run a group through it if you're interested. Interesting. People really like it was a book series, right? Ziggy, I'll be muting you. So no, I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna play it. I'm just gonna review it. I won't spoil it. As a Saw fan, would you Would you the Saw Final Girl scenario be worth it, or is it too much? No, I thought the Saw Final Girl scenario wasn't bad. I thought it was pretty good and pretty straightforward, generally speaking. The torture device thing was interesting. Like, I liked it. It does work well. Interesting. Yeah, I always figured it wouldn't. That's cool. The hand crank one's an interesting idea because like if something like gets stuck, you can stop it versus, excuse me, the automatic ones felt like it'd be going nuts. You know what I mean? And just like if your card starts bending or whatever, it'd be like, nope, who cares? And just like shove it in there. Do you sleeve your cards, William? I have that thing, and tremors in the cart. Nice. Nice. Final Girl is such a weird one now too, because I know they're coming out with the new expansions for Series 4. I think you can pre-order like the bunny one or whatever. I guess that's what, Five Nights at Freddy's, and like that's cool. But like I think I'm gonna wait until like the giant, whole thing comes out. You know what I mean? Because I'm hoping it'll get you a better version. You know what I mean? This needs Vanna White 80s version. Yeah, I'll take any version of Vanna White. Do you hit me up? I GM'd for a lot of different games. Is there a way to reach out to you about Pendragon? And yes, I use Penny Sleeves, the one that's made nice. Best way is through Discord. Join the Discord and or DM me on Discord or Twitter, either one. Those are the easiest ways to like get direct contact. Or Instagram. I'm sorry, that works too. I forgot Instagram has a direct message. Any one of those is fine to direct message me. I kind of wish YouTube had a way too, but it doesn't. Five Nights at Freddy's and Children of the Corn and Scream. Oh, that's right. They're doing Scream. I'm kind of hyped for that, too. That was like my first horror movie. Was it my first horror movie? I think so. It was definitely up there as one of my first, I think. So thank you for the people over on Kick watching. I appreciate y'all. One of the things you get as content creators a lot, and I wish I could show it, but I can't, is you get emails all the time from different payment processing companies that warn you about scams, but then you wonder if it's a scam, and that's what I deal with half the time. It's just D20 Woodworking on Discord? Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, I have my own thing, but I assume I'm just D20 Woodworking. Hold on, I'm looking at it. How do I talk to myself? Oh, wait, I have a secret channel where I talk about everyone behind their back. Yeah, I think it's just D20 Woodworking. It's got my logo and stuff, so I should have figured out. Thank you, Twitch, for playing. Appreciate it. But yeah, and I'm in like Nelson's Discord. I'm in the main Marvel Champions one, so you should be able to find my name in one of those. I just don't comment ever. Also, can you change the setting to make your Discord show who's online? Yes. I could probably do that. I'm not 100% sure how, but I can do that. I will figure that out. I'm not great with Discord. Like, I know it was one of those things that I made because I like people like hanging out and whatever. So I made it for that. And I've done a really, especially recently, I've done a really poor job keeping up on things. It's in the server settings. Let's go to the server. D20 woodworking, server settings. Under what part? Members? Oh God, that did something. Server settings. Wait, is it just in the main setting? No, it's not. It's not there. Engagement? I'll have to look at this later. Like I said, I'm really bad with this. Server insights? Server subscriptions. Yeah, I'll figure it out later. But yeah, I could do that. I can't. I would show my Discord page, but there's a lot of DMs and stuff. Or if you pick a channel and type a message, there, I'll just use the. Oh yeah. Under just chatting, go to just chatting. D20 is a midstream. Is a mid-streamer. There we go. I wrote in there so you can find me easily. Okay, chat, really quick. I want to talk about Clair Obscur. And in order to do it, we have to put on the music. Because the music is phenomenal. All right, so I've been playing through, or I played through Clair Obscur, and I crushed it in about 26 hours, and I kind of rushed through it a little bit. So, you know, it'd probably take most people like 30 hours, and I still have to go back and do a lot of things. But I finished through the entire story, and I won't be spoiling anything in the story, but I want to get my hot thoughts, hot takes out there because I finally finished it. And I will tell you right now, Clair Obscur is gonna go down as one of the top 5 games I've ever played my entire life. It is absolutely phenomenal. Highly recommend. The music, which you can kind of hear in the background right now, one of the best. The characters, absolutely phenomenal. The voice acting, phenomenal. The pacing was the biggest thing for me that I think was the most amazing part of the game. Because so many RPGs, mostly JRPGs, but this is really an FRPG, like a French role-playing game. Many of them have pacing issues where like it feels like it drags on in a certain section, and it never did with this game. Like every time it started to slow down, it hit another gear and kept going. And I thought, oh my gosh, like it's gonna be a lot. Like it just can't keep going. And there's basically like Act 1 and Act 2 happens. Act 1 has a big like quote unquote crescendo, and you're like, oh, it's gotta slow down after this, and it does for like maybe an hour, and like not even that much of a slowdown. It's like I gotta kind of build it back up, right? And it is phenomenal. Like I cannot recommend this game enough. The battle system is fantastic. It's really, really amazing. It's overall really, really fun. The story is really, really good. The combat is fluid in the way that it works, which I think is really, really cool. I want to, well, I don't know if I can find it really fast. Might take, oh no, this is it. So there's a guy, Marky X on the old Twitters, that brought this up. And I thought this was really kind of a fascinating thing about, kind of related to this game that I think is a good point that ties into board games. So he says that a disparity I noticed among video and board game design is the tolerance toward copying other games. Board games and video games have opposite attitudes. For board games, direct mechanical borrowing is viewed negatively. Each new worker placement or engine builder faces scrutiny about the novel mechanic it brings beyond existing games. The community celebrates originality over refinement, which I'm guilty of too. I do that as well. But I think you can take a mechanic like a worker placement and improve upon it. Video games takes this approach much differently. Genre conventions are genre conventions are expected. Players want Souls-like to have stamina management, dodge rolling, etc. Metroidvanians need backtracking and ability gates. Following established patterns lets developers focus and polish on specific innovations within proven frameworks, which I think Clair Obscur doesn't really do anything super new and amazing, but what it does is it does everything really well. So he prefers the video game approach. I do too, but I get both sides of it. So one of the things, like, this is what the main thing of Clair Obscur looks like, right? With like this menu system or whatever, which this is pretty early on, so it doesn't really spoil anything. And how it works with the aiming and all that fun stuff. And like, it looks so similar to Persona 5. Like, it looks so incredibly similar to Persona 5. And like, so much so that you'll be like, oh yeah, this is like kind of copying. It does not matter. It does it so well. And Persona does it really well too. Don't get me wrong. I love Persona 5 Royal, or Persona 5. But this system is phenomenal. So it's not anything new or genius it's doing. It's just doing it well. I think what's cool about it, though, is when you get attacked, you can dodge, you can block, or parry. So you can dodge, you can parry, you can jump on certain attacks, and you can do like major counter attacks as well. And I think when it does that, it's really, really neat in the way that it works. And I really enjoy it because it keeps you engaged in the combat throughout the whole thing. And it adds like a base skill level. Now, for some people that aren't like super deep in the video games, maybe it's a little tough for them, right? Because I know there's a lot of people that like want to play this story, but they're not like quote unquote gamers. That part will be a little tough for them for sure. I think there's a way to make it easier, but I don't 100% remember. I get confused with some other games. But even so, once you learn how that works, that mechanic works, it's phenomenal. It really is phenomenal. It keeps you engaged. Like I said, keeps the combat fluid. There's so many skills to like research and see how they work off of each other, because for each character, like you'll want to kind of do skills in a certain order to make other skills more powerful, which is really, really cool. But you still need to do your basic attacks that also are important for getting more basically skill points to spend to do the skills, right? So you attack to gain skill points, which really quick down here, it's kind of hard to see a little bit, but you can see like there's a little 4 down here underneath this guy's health. That is, you have 4 skill points of the 9 or whatever it is that you have, 8, whatever it may be, and those let you translate into doing the skills. And all of it feels incredibly rewarding. It feels incredibly strong. It makes you feel like you're in control. The entire game's like level design is gorgeous. I mean, it's just I don't know how to say other than that. It's just absolutely gorgeous, and it just looks incredible overall. It's a very dreamlike world, and I don't know who imagined half this stuff, but they did a phenomenal job, right? They did a phenomenal job. And like I said, the voice acting and the I guess they did mocap, right? Motion capture for all the faces and body animation and moving. Incredibly well done. Like, incredibly well done. I cannot stress that enough, how well done it was. So I think the combat side is really strong. The pacing is really strong. The music is phenomenal. The story is one of the best I've ever played. There was never really a point in this game when I was just like, man, I don't want to be playing this game. Like, I love Final Fantasy 7, I love Final Fantasy 9, but there's certain points where, you know, it slows down just a little bit. I never felt that way with this game. It never felt rushed. It never felt like I was missing some of the story. The story gets a little, not convoluted or confusing at the end, but like there's a lot that happens, and you got to pay attention, which I like. I think it's pretty cool and pretty interesting. I think they should eventually make this a TV. Like, this plays like a TV show with how certain things are spaced out. It's amazing. I cannot recommend enough. My favorite part, again, not spoiling anything, and chat, don't spoil anything, but the way it frames the characters and their motivation is incredibly well done. You understand why they are doing what they do. You understand their thought process behind everything. You understand You understand what they're trying to get at. And while they may think they're doing the best thing possible, it's not even, it may not be. And the main antagonist of the game, you understand their motivation and why they're doing things. And you kind of get why they're doing what they do. And I did not expect that level of depth for everything. I really did not. I really thought it was going to be kind of a simpler game. Like, bad guy or gal is bad because they're bad, right? And it's not that, right? It's not what you think it is, which is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So I will say, especially if it's on sale, because I know most AAA games are like 80, 90 bucks nowadays. I think this one at normal is 50 to 60. It's a good price. It's good value. I finished it. When you finish the game, it places you just before the end, so you can go back and try to collect everything, or you could do a New Game Plus. I am hyped to jump right back into New Game Plus and keep going with it and see where it takes me. That's how good it is. Like, when I wasn't playing the game, I thought about playing the game more. And to me, that's like the quintessential sign for a game of how good is it, is immediately after you finish it, do you want to play it again? And there's a lot of games that I finish and I go, I'll play again eventually. I have finished Clair Obscur and I want to play again. Like, as simple as that. I want to play again. And it is amazing. I don't recommend that many video games on this channel, because so many people have different kind of like takes on things or how they want things to be or whatever. If you enjoy RPGs, 100% worth it. And like this song especially, like I have this song playing in the background for work all the time, and it is emotional. Like the whole thing's emotional. When this plays, like there's emotions behind it. It is highly recommend. So, very long story short, not even that long. Highly recommend. I try to find faults with the game. There's not a ton. I mean, you could say it's a little basic compared to most RPGs that have like really complex systems. But if you want a complex system, it's there. You can find it and you can work with it. Your weapon inventory system is basically your main weapon, and then you get like 3 attachments basically. So you don't really like do like armor and stuff. So if you wanted like more with armor and leveling up armor and stuff, that's not there, which I guess could be a downside to people, but no. So love it. Love it, love it, love it. And it's incredibly French, which I think is hilarious. The last level of music playing through it was one of the most hype I've ever been in a while. The whole end and the whole music scenario, like the music, I think is the most important thing. I think if you strip the music from it, it's just not as good. Like, it's still good, but the music takes it to the next level. The music just ties so well to it. And again, I don't get like super emotional or like super attached to a lot of games. I got attached to these characters. I got attached to every single one. Heck, even some of the bad people in it, the different bad people, I got attached to them, especially when I learned their motivation and why they do things. It's amazing. The story is amazing. The voice acting is some of the best I've ever heard. It really hits you right in the heart. Its combat system is amazing. It just feels so good. 100%, Keith. 100%. And the thing is, too, the emotional attachment happens within the first hour of the game, right? When you start learning about the Grimmage and what all that entails, you're like, okay, like, this is interesting. And I feel like early on also, it does not narrative dump on you, which can be kind of boring, right? If it's just like, this is the world and this is why things happen and these are all the motivation, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't do that. So you kind of have to have an open mind going into it a little bit, that like, okay, I'm going to learn as I go, but it will hold my hand a little bit while I go through it. And I think that's a good key system with it, but I can understand if some people early on get kind of like turned off a little bit because they're like, I don't understand 100% what the motivations are. You will learn the motivations. You are rewarded for talking to the other characters, and it adds more depth to the story, which I think you 100% want to do. There is, even after beating it, there's still like a quarter to half the world I've like barely touched. There's a big world out there, and you could skip a lot of it and just fly through the game. Like I said, I think I said this, again, 26 hours of what it took me to beat it. I spent like 3 or 4 hours in the actual world doing extra stuff. There is 15 to 20 hours of extra stuff I've missed out on. I want to go back and get all the costumes and stuff because I think they're really well done and they're really cool. So I'm going to do all of them still. But yeah, it is really well done. Hoping Final Fantasy sees that turn-based still rules and goes back to that. Not expecting Rebirth to do it, but it just needs it. 100% agreed. I think there was, for those who don't know, I believe Final Fantasy made this comment that they were getting rid of or getting away from turn-based combat because people don't want that anymore. I think what this game has shown is that it's not the case. Persona has done this too. Just people ignored Persona as this weird niche game for some reason, and it's not. Persona is massive, right? Persona 5 is a massive, massive hit. And whenever Persona 6 comes out, it's going to be as massive, in my opinion. It's probably bigger. It has shown that turn-based combat should still exist. It's still amazing. And I really hope Final Fantasy goes back to its roots after seeing what can be done. And it showed that it was able to integrate some like action sequences in the combat and worked really well. If they just quote unquote steal everything Clair Obscur, sorry, I have to say it like that, did it, I think that's fine. I think it just makes the industry better as a whole. It's already been licensed to be made in a TV show, I believe. Yes, please. Like I know a lot of people buy the licenses so that other companies can't make it in TV shows, but I really hope whoever, I hope it's like HBO or someone does it, because it will be one of, like, if The Last of Us was a massive TV show, especially season 1, this will be bigger. Not Game of Thrones big probably, but it will be bigger than The Last of Us. I think it's a better story than The Last of Us. I loved The Last of Us, the first game, one of my favorite games. This story blows it out of the water, in my opinion. Blows it out of the water. They just had a patch drop today. I think it made a bunch of quality of life updates and stuff. Yes. Yeah, they did. I didn't get to mess around with it too much. But yeah. Yeah, I agree. So do you recommend it? Yes. Yes. Simple answer is yes. I highly recommend it. Can't wait to get home to play this game. It's the best response to a great game. And that's the last thing I'll say too is the hype around it. I figured there's no way this game could hit the hype level that it had. Like I was like, there's no way it's going to be that good, right? There's just no way. And my buddy played it and he's like, no, it's really good, dude. You should try it. I was like, I'll wait till it goes on sale. So I waited till the Steam summer sale to get it. And it exceeded. I went in thinking this better be one of the best games I've ever played. And it met / exceeded those expectations. It crushed it. Absolutely crushed it. So very short or long of the short of the long, highly recommend. Definitely get if you're interested in JRPGs or RPGs, generally speaking. It's phenomenal. I cannot recommend it enough. Get it. It's free on Game Pass right now. Go play it now. Go play it now. I don't know what it's like on like Xbox or whatever, or PlayStation. I play it on the PC. Phenomenal. The only thing, I guess the only downside is it's not optimized for the Steam Deck. I played it in the Steam Deck and it's still a little rough. Like the color balancing was really bad and it doesn't run super smooth. So if you have a Steam Deck, I think they're planning to work on that. I read an article, but it's not like super optimized for that. I guess that's like the downside. But if you have a decent PC or you have a PlayStation or an Xbox or whatever, play it. I hope it comes out for the Nintendo Switch too, so more people can experience it. Because I don't think, like, I want this studio to do more games that are like it. Like, I don't want like a second one of these games, but I want another game like it because I think it's that good. And I would, whatever this company comes out with next, they have my full faith. Like, I will buy whatever it is. If it just gets close to the greatness of this game, I'm 100% on board. So anyway, those are my review and hot takes of the game. Please, if you like RPGs, go play it. Go, apparently, if it's on Game Pass for free right now, go do it. It's 100% worth it. And also, I'm just going to leave this music on for a little while so you all have to listen to it. Okay. Appreciate y'all listening to the review. Okay, blow my nose. Link just popped in. Are you talking about K-pop Demon Hunters? I am not. I'm not. But I did watch that. I didn't like it. The music was catchy. I didn't like the show that much. I mean, it was fine. It just wasn't for me. Buy physical, people. I have the disc mentality. I wish I could have owned it physically. But because my PC doesn't have a disc slot, it was kind of useless to me. But I wish I owned like a collector's edition physical copy for sure. Did you get my I didn't look yet. I'll look in a little bit. Wait. Yeah. I see you. Or I see a DM that I assume is from you. My wife loves it, and I'm afraid to tell her I don't like the movie. Wait, what movie? Yeah, what movie? Not gonna lie, I'm probably going to get the Funko Pops of them, of the different characters when they eventually release them. Yeah, I like little miniature things of stuff. I think they're really cool and interesting, and I want to get them. We go swims. K-pop Demon Hunters. Yeah. Music was good. Music was fine. The show was not very good. I'm sorry. The show was not good for K-pop Demon Hunters. I was not a fan. Not a fan. I think Novels kind of watched it because she heard so much hype about it. And like there's just so many better anime shows out there than that. Like it's not for me. So alright, while this plays, I guess we should review Falcon, right? I guess. I still own a PS1 games, some in the $200 range to buy now. I still have like Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy VII, like some of my classic favorites on PS1 disc. I don't know if they're worth money. Maybe they are. I have no idea. But it is one thing I dislike about PC nowadays is that I can't like play that. Like not that I can't own that stuff. Like I really wish I could. And I like again, I play a lot of like Trails of Cold Steel. Actually, any of the Trails games I really like. I think it's better than all those games, and I like those games a lot. It's just one of those few games that I will recommend 10 out of 10 times. 10 out of 10 times. Actually, I wonder what is a Metal Gear Solid PS1 disc worth now. There's a YouTuber I like. Oh, it's only worth $30. There's a YouTuber I like that plays like old school PS1 games on the PS1. She does a really good job playing through because it's like her first playthrough of a lot of games because she never played like the originals. She got I don't think she got into gaming later. She just didn't play a lot of these. And she was going through all the old Final Fantasy games like on PS1. She's a massive YouTuber. Hold on, let me find her. Castellism? Castellism? This lady, her streams of things like are really good. So if you ever want to watch good live streams, I put them on in the background all the time. It's really, really good. Highly recommend. Who likes YouTubers? Not me. We're the scum of the universe. You kidding me? I was talking to Novels earlier because she does a lot of TikTok lives right now, and so for a long time Novels didn't want to do live streaming, and I don't think she fully got early on why I focused on live streaming, because like the numbers of the live streaming stuff is smaller than like YouTube numbers, right? But the ability to like interact and talk to other people is phenomenal. But and I don't even know why I'm bringing this up, but the like live streaming with people and like playing those games with people, like experiencing with people is just phenomenal. It's so much better than like the actual YouTube side of things. But YouTube's one of those things you guys gotta do. All right, let's get up. Oh my god, so my background changes every single day, chat. I have like an automatic background from Windows. They gave me a bird today. Makes me so happy. It's always random stuff. Robbie, welcome to chat. D20, I got to watch you again. Been super busy at work. I like Falcon and my dad loves Winter Soldier, but the Falcon Precon is not great and I had to change that right away. Dude, the Precon is trash. I'm not a big fan of him in general, but yeah. Novels is just all here. Conversational takes will come out in live stream. It's just Novels is just after all or conversation. Yeah. The woman hates the touch. She just she was really scared to talk like on live streams because like to sit. So she wasn't here when like back in the day I used to live stream in front of like 4 people that didn't really talk. So she was always afraid that that's how live streaming would be. It's just like, oh, it'll be bad because like, how do you talk to yourself? And it's really, really kind of easy. I talk to myself all the time. It's probably a problem. Probably shouldn't do that. Oh, let's change the music really fast. I don't want to change off of this, but I don't want to get demonetized. Oh, chat. Remember the last time we live streamed and we did a WWE thing? And I showed you the one scene from WWE. WWE came after me. They shut my video down. They literally. So last live stream we had the little segment, like the little short of The Rock and Hulk Hogan. The second my stream ended, WWE literally took my video down. Like you could not find that video if you tried. So if you watch the live stream again, that section is just cut out now because WWE like messaged me, which is always really fun. And they're like, you have to take this down. And I was like, I'll cut it out and then you can put the video back up. And then once you do that, they're cool with it. But they're very protective of their stuff, which is always hilarious. So I have to be like super careful with what plays and what music does for YouTube, because YouTube always takes the side of larger companies over smaller content creators. Fun fact. It's a weird thing to deal with. All right, I have Dreamcast and SNES games back in the day. Yeah, it's awesome. I never had a Dreamcast. I had the Sega Genesis and the Sega Game Gear. Is that what that thing was called? The handheld version was a Game Gear, I think. I had that, and I really liked that. But I never had the Dreamcast. I had Nintendo, SNES, Nintendo 64. I skipped the GameCube, had a Game Boy, had the Wii, skipped Wii U, got the Switch. Eventually, I'll get the Switch too, probably. Could you stop blowing your nose, dude? If I wasn't so stuffed up, I 100% would. Gran Turismo, that was a good one. It was a classic game. If WWE tries to take you down, challenge them to a no-holds-barred cage match. I'm sure it could be my antagonist. That's fair. I'll have somebody block or ban you. It's fine. Wait, Ziggy, can I make you a mod and you can ban yourself? I'd really appreciate that. But yeah, I had all the Nintendo stuff. And then when PlayStation came out, I got all the PlayStation systems. I don't think I ever got a PS5. I think I stopped at the PS4 because I became a PC elitist. Not that it's really better, but I like it. It's easy to like update the graphics card, right? Just take it out and put a new one in, and that's been pretty simple for me. But I do miss physical games. I do miss that a lot. Excuse me. Also, my room is really dry, so I get stuffed up really quick because I'm talking a lot. Ugh. PS1, PS2. PS2, I mean, is the biggest thing ever. They still find like every now and again, because they want to be the highest selling system of all time. Every now and again, they find extra numbers. It's crazy how that happens, right? But the PS2 changed the game, man. And PS1 was good too. Don't get me wrong. But PS2, I feel like changed the game. And the PS3 was great, but I still feel like PS2 is better. I don't know. One of those random things. Actually, hold on. I don't want to do this site. This will not be a good site. This will be a better site. All right, so let's do Falcon. Let's do our Falcon review. I'm going to get so much hate. Okay. All right, chat. Feel free to add your comments in here at any time. Let's get into this. So let's get into our Falcon review. The first time we're going to do a review live. So here we go. So Falcon, Sam Wilson, for Marvel Champions. If you have watched the videos, if you watch the live streams over on kick.com/D20 Woodworking or Twitch or YouTube, you see me play and you've seen my hot takes of him, and it has not gotten better. So what I want to do first is we're going to go through the cards, and then we'll talk a bit about it. So we'll start with Sam Wilson's Alter Ego card. 3 recovery, which if you know me, is a bit in the lower side. I know people will be like, that's the most popular one. I get it. It's still the lowest amount that you could possibly pay. It's a shield card, which is fine. 6 hand size, 10 hit points. Birds of a feather. Action, discard 1 card from your hand. Search your deck and discard pile for a bird card and add it to your hand. I don't really care for this action because it's like 2 bird cards, maybe 3. And we'll get into some of the issues with that in a minute, but I'm not a big fan of that. So it's nothing totally neat and interesting. I didn't really care about it. Now, Falcon's actual hero side drops down to 5 hand size, 10 hit points, which is normal. 2/2/2 stat line, which is good. Aerial and Avenger during the player phase. Now, it's sad that this is only during the player phase, but it's fine. Play with the top card of the encounter deck face up. This felt a little bit like a weird thing for me. It's like when I'm on the villain phase, like don't play it face up. I get why they're doing it, but it's just like just a small thing to have to remember. Falcon in general is a bunch of small things you have to remember constantly. Now, Eagle-Eyed is a response. After you play an aerial card, discard the top card of the encounter deck. I still believe, after playing Falcon now a dozen times, right? Different ways of playing and all that fun stuff, I still feel like this should be an interrupt. It feels really weird that this is a response. Now, I've done a hot takes on this before because there are times you'll play aerial cards and the top card that's currently on the encounter deck is a 0 boost card. I would rather this be an interrupt so I can get rid of that 0 boost card and then hopefully get a better one. But that's not how this works. You play the card, deal with whatever's on top, then the next one you get to see what it is and get to decide if you want to discard it after the fact. I don't like that. I think this should be an interrupt. This hampers Falcon so much, in my opinion, being a response. I actively dislike this. And if I was more into house ruling things, I would house rule it as an interrupt. Maybe it makes him too strong, but I don't care. It makes him too clunky as a response. And we'll get into that in a second. All right, so Red Wing is his first card, his signature ally. I think it's the most important card in his deck. 2-cost ally, 1/1/2 stat line, Aerial Avenger, bird. So it's one of our bird cards that we can look for. So obviously they want you to do something with this card. It's a hero action, exhaust Red Wing to return him to your hand and discard the top card of the encounter deck. Choose to either deal X damage to an enemy or remove X threat from a scheme. X is the number of boost icons. So obviously if there's a lot of boost icons, really good, right? But if there's not, whatever. I returned Red Wing back to me all the time, which is kind of a cool mechanic because like it's a bird coming back to you. I return him all the time. I feel like you have to, but I constantly was just throwing him out there to deal 1 damage or remove 1 threat. Then it allowed me to do this because it is an aerial card. So it allowed me to go and do Eagle-Eyed to kind of manipulate the deck. To me, this is what they're trying to make you do. They want you to constantly put that bird out there to manipulate the deck, but it's really tough to do. It's really, again, kind of clunky. And I'm just playing this bird over and over at 2 cost, over and over and over, trying to get him to work. Red Wing's probably the strongest thing. It's just really slow going. And if you're dealing something with Retaliate, sorry, your bird's going to die. Bird of Prey, there is a few of them. 1, 2 of these cards. 2-cost event, Aerial Attack. Deal 4 damage to enemy. You may discard the top card of the encounter deck to deal 1 additional damage in the discarded boost card's area. So again, if there's a 0 boost card on top, you can't use your response of Eagle-Eyed to change it from 0 to something, right? You have to play this 2 for 4, which is weak, to then discard that 0 cost thing, do your 2 for 4, whatever. See what the next one is. If the next one's a 3, well, then you don't want to trigger your Eagle-Eye response. You want to leave it, or you can kind of cycle through it a little bit faster, which I guess is what they're trying to make you do. But again, I had to burn a Bird of Prey for 2 for 4, which is terrible, to hopefully get a good boost card. Again, if it was an interrupt, right, on Eagle-Eye, I could then play 2 for 4 and hope that, okay, I know the top one's 0, but hopefully this next one's better. And if it's not, okay, I'm in the same boat. But if it is better, then I did better, right? It feels better. The fact that it's response hampers all these cards, in my opinion. So it makes it kind of clunky in that sense. And again, I felt like I could never plan well. So again, if the top boost card was a 0, I'm now thinking, okay, so instead of playing a Bird of Prey, I need to play like Red Wing first, which is going to be a 3 effective resource cost, right? 1 for the bird, 2 for resources, to then play Bird of Prey, which, oh wait, my hand size is 5. So unless I have a resource generator, I don't have enough to play this. So I can't do it. That was always kind of bad feeling in general. Bird's Eye View, same exact problem. 2 for 3 threat removal, aerial thwart card. Hero action, remove 3 threat from a scheme. 2 for 3 is not good, but you may discard a top card in encounter deck to get the extra boost icons. Okay, cool. That's fine and all. But the issue is, again, if there's 0 on there, yes, the next 1 or 2 I can remove essentially, right? Because I can remove for this one, remove a 0 to do the thing. And then you trigger our response if the next card after that isn't a 0. A lot of thinking that goes with it. And then if the next boost card is like a 3 boost card, but I have no monies to pay for the next like Birds of Prey or whatever, or Bird Eye View, then I know that card's going to get burned in the future. So again, it didn't feel great. Up, and away, 0 cost aerial defense card. After an attacking enemy is given a face down boost card, look at that card and the top card of the encounter deck, and then you may swap them, and then you draw 1 card for each printed boost icon in the current boost area, which is weird because it's incentivizing you to put more bad cards against you, but you get more card draw. So it's like an interesting trade-off, which I like. But again, it feels kind of weird. Up, and away, I didn't really do a lot with. This teams up well with another card, I think, so we can get that in a bit. 2 of them. So Falcon's Flock is an important card. Your 2 cost support. It's an aerial bird card. So this is one of the bird cards you can find from your alter ego action, right? So they want you to put in Red Wing and they want you to put in this card. Where is it? There we go. Falcon's Flock. Resource. Remove 1 bird counter from here. Generate an energy resource for an aerial card, which is all fine and dandy. And it's nice that you can use this card multiple times in 1 turn. So you're basically trying to save up this card because I could use it to pay for, let's say, a bird's eye view once and then use it again to play bird of play later that turn, which makes it a bit easier to play more cards. But you have to get this card out right away. Soup Kitchen is fine. 1 cost supports a location, alter ego action, exhaust Sam Wilson and the Soup Kitchen. The heal damage from Sam Wilson equal to his recovery, which you were going to do anyway, exhaust Sam, and you reduce the cost of the next ally or support played by this phase by 2. Okay, like, okay, it's not great, but it's fine. If Soup Kitchen did this by itself, it'd be a goated card. But the fact that you have to exhaust your hero to do this too, feels like it's hampering you a lot and not super strong. 1 cost upgrade of Aerial Evacuation, Aerial Prep card. When another friendly character be dealt any amount of damage, discard Aerial Evacuation, prevent all that damage from that character, and change it to alter ego form. If that character is a hero, they also change their alter ego. Okay, like it's nice to, again, in multiplayer, which is probably where Falcon does better, to protect other people that's out there. I think that can be really strong and good. But again, as a solo player, it doesn't... whatever, right? It's a whatever card. But for multiplayer, I could definitely see the use for this card. Aerial Recon, 1 cost upgrade, Aerial Tactic card, hero action, exhaust Aerial Recon, and deal 1 player face down encounter card. Place 1 recon counter here. When a player would be dealt an encounter card, remove 1 recon counter from here instead, which is good because you're basically just taking bad cards now to like stop bad cards later. I didn't use it a ton, but I see the value in this. Like if an advance is going to lose me the game in the future when I'm making my final push, I could, basically save an aerial counter, or I'm sorry, a recon counter here that instead of getting an encounter card later on, I remove the thing and it helps me with my final push. I didn't do a ton, like, right? It's taking the punishment now to save you from later on. Okay, I get it, but I still never, like, especially early on, I don't want 2 encounter cards. So it's kind of a weird thing going on. But there is value with it. Again, I think it works better in multiplayer. Battlefield Awareness, 2 cost upgrade. When Falcon uses a basic power, exhaust this card and discard the top card in encounter deck. You get +1 for that basic power. Not bad, right? Especially for defense or whatever. Totally cool, right? Not bad at all. You use this a decent amount. Again, it assumes that there's good boost icons on the top card. And if you're defending, you might not know what it is because you're not playing with it face up. So you're kind of guessing, but you just have to remember what it is. All right, Draw Their Fire is probably the most interesting card. It's 1 cost per player. So in solo game, it's only 1. But in a multiplayer game, obviously it's more. Aerial Prep card. Hero response. After the villain phase begins, discard Draw Their Fire. Falcon does not exhaust to defend this phase, which is really strong, right? This is probably one of his best cards because you could just defend for the entire table. But because you're discarding this card, you can use it basically once. Now, I feel like in multiplayer, you have to put those prep cards that get you prep cards back. Black Widow has one now that came out in the shield box that lets you get prep cards after you use them. Whatever it's called, the one with the picture of Black Widow on it. I feel like you now have to run that card with this deck because this card is massively strong. I mean, just massively strong because you're going to have a card later on, his microwave, depending on how you look at it, gives him +1 defense. So to defend 3 for everybody without exhausting, massive, absolutely massive. So I like this card. I hate that I have to discard it. And because I have to discard, I want this card over and over. I have to play with certain prep cards to get it back into my hands. So I think, again, for multiplayer, I think it makes a lot more sense to defend for the entire table. For solo, it makes sense too, but it's fine. Talon Line was a really weird card for me. It's a 2-cost upgrade item. Hero response: after you resolve Falcon's Eagle Eye ability, discard Talon Line, which again, I don't like discarding it. And then for each boost icon in the area, you get to either ready a character you control or stun an enemy. Stalwart and steady villains or enemies, this doesn't work as well, but this card is worth it. It just stinks to have to discard this card. And it has to trigger after Eagle Eye ability. So I feel like, again, there's so many small things that have to not necessarily line up, but you have to like manage on the table. And I usually like managing things on the table. It just felt with this, there were so many little things to manage over and over and over. And if this, then that type things. And I don't mind some of that. This felt like it to the next level with cards like this. And then finally, his Vibranium Microwave, a 2-cost upgrade tech Wakanda card. Falcon gets +1 defense, really good. When Falcon would take any mana damage, exhaust this to prevent 1 of that damage and deal 1 to the enemy, which is good, right? You take you take at least 1 damage. You can return 1 back and not take any damage. It's good for knocking off tough statuses. It's all fine. But if you're trying to defend him all the time, then you're probably not going to take that much damage unless there's a high amount of boost or a high amount of like icons in the boost area. Then you would. But again, it feels like so not situational, but just like, again, there's so many things moving and so many moving parts. So that's all of his cards. It felt like the entire time I was playing Falcon, I had to manage all these little things at once. And it was really, really tough to manage. And it felt like I was managing a lot to do very little. And I hate that feeling. If I'm going to manage a lot with like a Domino, let's say, or whomever, I want to feel like I'm progressing and I'm doing better. And it never felt like that with Falcon. It felt like I was playing a very long, slow, painfully slow game that never felt like I was really taking over the game. I would line up my upgrades to use them and then have to discard them. And I had to figure out a way to get them back into my hand, either through prep cards or whatever it may be, or trying to find bird cards. Again, his alter ego action is to discard a card from your hand to get a bird card back in your hand. The only 2 are Red Wing and what did I say what the other one was? Falcon's Flock. Those are the only 2 ones. So they obviously want you to recycle those cards over and over, which you need Falcon's Flock to pay for things. Because again, everything costs 2 basically. So you need Falcon's Flock to pay for all this stuff. And Red Wing, I'm just recycling over and over and over. So very long story short, I do not like Falcon. I do not think he was fun. I think it was a lot of small management for solo players that didn't equate to like a great feeling overall. For those of you all that play multiplayer, and I've heard that he's better multiplayer, I would probably agree. I think he would be much better for multiplayer, and maybe that's what they're trying to do. And that's totally cool, right? It's totally cool because we have so many great heroes out there now that I don't need every hero to be like amazing for solo play, right? That's not what we need anymore, so that's fine. I'm not saying I wish he was better for solo. I'm just saying as a solo player, he doesn't do much for me. As a multiplayer player, I could get the argument, and people said like, oh, he makes a lot more sense. He's a lot stronger. I played him, I think, once 2-handed, and it's just like, ugh, whatever. So not a big fan of Falcon. Would not play him a lot. Did not really enjoy him that much, unfortunately. Sam Wilson will always be ally to me, fight me. I look at a bird and just say, fly, you fools. I've been losing so often. I'm newish and not entirely familiar with the deck I'm using, and I'm playing stage 2 and stage 3 expert with the standard encounter. Will I ever not lose way more? Yeah, just takes practice. You'll get there. I used to lose all the time, dude. It's totally cool. Just thought if you have the time, you should do a quick comparison contest with the custom Sam Wilson. Yeah, we could do that on another stream for sure. For sure. Compare Falcon to Maria Hill, and the power level is absurdly different. Maria Hill, again, I have my issues with Maria Hill. Maria Hill, what's nice about her, oh my God, I'm going to say something nice about Maria Hill. If I gave, okay, this is how I judge a lot of this game now, because the way that the head of the studio has said is they want this game to be accessible to more people, right? They want to sell more product to get more people into the game. I could give Novels Maria Hill, and she would have a fun time. I think she has played Maria Hill, and she enjoyed it, right? Maria Hill made sense. She was able to play the cards. She understood what Maria Hill was trying to do. If I gave Novels Falcon, she would lose her mind, right? She would lose her mind because nothing works intuitively and there's so much checking of cards constantly. I think any new player to the game would be upset because there's just too much going on and too much of this, if that. And again, I think it being a response on Eagle Eye is a mistake. I think it should be an interrupt. There's too many times playing Falcon as an experienced player, it felt bad, right? It just felt like I couldn't do what I wanted to do. If you're going to scale this hero for a type of hero that's like, okay, no, it's just for like players that really quote unquote get the game and like the expert style players, I don't think he's good for that either. I don't think he's rewarding for that. I don't think he's fun. Like, again, I like to think after playing this game for 5 some years now, I get Marvel Champions. And again, I get what he's trying to do. It just felt clunky the whole time. So Maria Hill, I don't like Maria Hill, but I have no problem giving Maria Hill to a new player and saying, have fun. You want to feel like one of the most powerful heroes in the game? Don't pick Doctor Strange. Well, I mean, you could pick Doctor Strange. Obviously, he's very powerful. But play Maria Hill. You will feel like a freaking god. So play that. You know what I mean? Just came here from beating Ronan with my son on Drax and me on Gamora. Let's go. 3rd time's a charm. Dude, that's awesome. Good job. I like Drax. I mean, I like Drax. I don't love him, but I like him. He's good, but it's not even Falcon. It's basically Red Wing as a hero with Falcon as an ally. Cam, work in the chat. 100%. Like, I felt like I was just trying to be the bird, which if they want to make a bird hero, I'm on board. I love birds. I bird watch all day, as we talked about earlier in chat. I love birds. If it was the Red Wing hero and Falcon was just chilling, like shooting his bird around everywhere, sounds weird. 100% on board. Absolutely love that. You get better over time. No shame in playing standard difficulty. Yeah, 100% play standard. It's worth it. Falcon always the sidekick, never the hero. He's not even the hero in his own deck. Red Wing is the true star. But again, because Red Wing is doing so little, it felt weird. Like, even if you did the whole, like, let's say you dealt with like Zola, right? I think Zola, well, maybe not so much anymore because it's hard to get Rise of Red Skull. But Zola was always like the toughest villain in the beginning of the game. I can't have Red Wing attack Zola, right? Because he's going to just murder my bird, and that's no good. So I have to thwart with Red Wing, which is fine. Next round, exhaust Red Wing to return to my hand to deal damage. Now, Red Wing won't be retaliated because I'm not attacking, I'm dealing damage. Important rules note. So for that side of doing things, it's good. But again, a lot of it depends now what my top card is because of how Eagle Eye works. So if the top card is a 0 boost, well, this is all useless then. And I can't change it unless I play a different card like Bird of Prey to deal damage, get retaliated for 0, or get retaliated for 1, but I'm dealing 4 damage plus a 0 boost. Hopefully the next card's a 2 or a 3. If not, then trigger Eagle Eye to hopefully get a better card. So let's say there's a 0 on top, I play an event, and the next card that comes up naturally is another 0, let's just say, and then I trigger Eagle Eye. Hopefully that one's not a 0, and if it's like 2 or 3 or whatever, then that's cool. The Red Wing is like goated, right? That whole, what I just explained there might sound confusing because it kind of is confusing. It's kind of clunky in the way that it works, and I really just don't like that. Seems like they wanted him to be Duke and Ashcan Pete in Arkham Horror, but it didn't really work. Yeah, I definitely feel like they drew inspiration from that. And Ashcan Pete worked so much better in my opinion, just with how the game does. And you don't have to deal as much damage in Arkham Horror, right? Most of the baddies in Arkham Horror are like 2-3 life or whatever it is. Like they're generally kind of weaker than some of the villains or even the minions that you'll encounter in Marvel Champions. So again, I was doing like really slow amounts of damage and whatnot. Really slow. Also, Misplay, welcome channel. Let me say hi. But Misplay, I highly recommend. Just play standard. I play standard, especially on stream most of the time. In off stream, I play on expert a lot more. But standard is just fun. It's just fun to play. So yeah, those are my Red Wing takes. I can't even call it Falcons. My Red Wing takes at the end of the day. Those are my takes. Again, if you love them, totally cool. On board. Get him if he interests you. But for me personally, I've played him 12 times. I don't know if I'll really play him again after that, to be completely honest. So like, subscribe. Appreciate it. All right, chat. We'll do Bucky Barnes in a minute. But yeah, it stinks too because I remember too when he was like previewed and whatnot, and like looking at him, it was really cool. And like one of his pre-con cards that Falcon had, should have pointed this out, is where is it? Strength and Diversity. And I feel like they really wanted this to be his main thing. So a 2-cost event for each person. For each different trait on a friendly characters in play, choose one. This can be a really strong card, and with Falcon, it's really strong. And I feel like they wanted to lean into this card for Falcon, but then you have to play him leadership, which is fine. I mean, I kind of like him more in protection and justice, but it's fine. But like, I'm not playing Falcon to play strength and diversity. Like, it obviously makes a lot of sense for him. He's got a lot of traits going on with the bird and stuff. So like, he would have Aerial Avenger plus bird, so that puts you at 3 right there. And if you add in like a leadership or card or two, they go up to like 4 or 5 really easily. Like if you put in like Arrow or something like that, right, where it has like Agents of Atlas or whatever else, you get a Guardian in there, not Guardian but somebody else, like it can be fine. But yeah, it felt like they really wanted you to lean into this, and I don't know, wasn't really working. Could you trigger Eagle Eye ability like the way you want because it plays after an aerial card, not after you resolve the aerial card? I don't think so. From what we discussed, it's after you play an aerial card. From when we read the rules, you had to play a card according to the rules. You have to play the entire card. It's not like after you place the card, because it's a response. So playing the card isn't just putting it down on the table. According to the rules, playing the card is doing the whole thing, right? So it's not just like you pop the card down and then now you can do other things, because that would be interrupting the play. When it's a response, it's responding after you play the whole thing. So from my understanding, how I understand the rules, and we went through this a lot on stream to figure this out, and maybe they'll redo the rules in Hall of Heroes at some point. It isn't like you play it and then it responds after that. Like, playing it isn't a separate action from doing the thing, right? You play the card to do the whole thing. If it interrupted it, then yes, you would play it and it interrupts you playing it to do the thing. But because it's a response, it's after the entirety of the card when you play. It's not just like in between that, if that makes sense. And I can try to find the rules really fast. But I know like with other games, like you play a card and then like other things happen. Because it's a response, that wouldn't be the case. Oh my God, we're not gonna be able to find play. Because it's not easily found in the rules. Initiating abilities. Initiating abilities 23. See if we can find. I think this is it. Hold on, let me read through it really fast. Okay, so the rules state that playing a card is initiating abilities. When a player wishes to play a card or initiate a triggered ability, that player first declares their intent. Then the player checks the following conditions in order. Check that you can actually do the thing, right? Determine the cost, so you have to do the cost, all that stuff. If both conditions are met, follow steps. If playing a card, that player places the card face up on the table in front of them. After apply any modifiers, and the card's not in play, right? So you haven't played it. Apply any modifiers, pay the cost. The card commences being played, so now you are actually playing it. The card is played, or the ability, if not canceled from the previous steps. Then you do all the stuff. If there's any triggering conditions that interrupt, you would do that first, right? So this is the part where you would interrupt any of the conditions, but that's not it. If any of the above steps were to be triggering condition of a response to the ability true, that ability may be initiated immediately after the triggering conditions become true. And then if the ability being initiated is a card in play, the sequence does not stop from completing if that card leaves play during the sequence. So you could make the argument here that if any of the above steps would make the triggering condition of a responsibility true, like maybe it falls in there, But again, I don't think it does, but I'm not 100% sure. And again, they should have just made it interrupt. Like, there's no reason to do a response for it. This is the one thing that's weird. And I know it's been argued a ton online that like this would trigger, but some people say it doesn't. And again, the way I would understand the rules is that because it's a response, you're responding after you play the card, which is going through the whole thing. And again, they could have avoided that whole thing, the whole confusion, if they just said it was interrupting it. If it just interrupts it, then we're good, right? You interrupt the playing of the card to do the thing. So maybe that is what they were trying to go for, but that's just not how I understand the rules of response and interrupt. But Clash, good point. Also, welcome to chat. I'm gonna say hi. Hi. So I'm sure somebody will call me out in the comments on this and be like, no, D20, you're actually supposed to do it ahead of time. And if that's the case, it's fine. But I think that leads to a lot of confusion. So a trigger at step 6 is when it's played. I don't know. I just don't read it that way, I guess. I don't know. Again, it just goes against everything I've ever done with anything else that's a response. Now, see, wait. Hold on, wait. The card is played or the ability resolves. The card enters play or is an events card. Its effects resolve and is placed in the owner's discard pile. If any of the event steps would make the triggering condition of the response ability true, that ability may be initiated immediately after the triggering condition becomes true. But again, we didn't play the card yet. So I don't know, dude. I don't see it that way. Step 7 is resolving it, right? And this is when you resolve the card. And the triggering condition response after the ability is true, which means we did the card. Because you're responding after the card. Like it's not like it's put on the table and then sits there and then you can respond. You have to resolve the ability. The card is played or the ability is resolved, I guess. But the card enters play, or if it's an event card, its effects resolve, right? That step happens first. Any of the above steps would make the triggering condition of the responsibility true. That ability may be initiated immediately after the triggering condition becomes true. I also don't get the difference of this then. Like, why? I don't get why it should just be an interrupt. Like, I don't know. Possibly, Claire. Like, I'm not disagreeing with you. Let me put it this way. I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't understand why one would be an interrupt and then one would be an ability if they go back to back the same exact thing. So again, maybe I'm playing wrong. Maybe. I just think they could have avoided all that hassle if they just did it as an interrupt, which is how most people would understand it. And that goes to my whole issue of just that he's too convoluted then. Like it should just been an interrupt. It should just been like, there's no reason to not have it be an interrupt. Like I don't understand if that's the case. Let's say you're right? Let's say you're right. And you 100% might be right. There's no reason just to make that an interrupt then. Like it would make more sense to me at least. And again, when we went through this in more detail and reading through Reddit and reading through Facebook, most people understood it the other way too, which just makes it confusing then for no reason. But again, Clash, I don't want to make it be like, you're wrong and I'm absolutely right. Could totally be wrong. It seems confusing for no reason then. All right. And I'm still playing Red Wing. I feel like I'm just doing that the whole time, which is annoying. Or yeah, doing Red Wing the whole time. Whatever. Also, I missed earlier. I apologize. Tiger Forever talking about PS1, PS2 games. Oh wait, William. I wouldn't have gotten a PS5, but my girlfriend says she wanted to game together. We did for a month or two, and then she hasn't turned on for like 8 months. I still use mine sometimes. It's hilarious, dude. I get it. I get when spouses get really excited about something. Like, no, we'll do this all the time. Heck, I'm that person too, right? I do it all the time. And I'm like, no, this will be great. And then it just isn't. Just isn't. Okay. Wow, that was our first time reviewing live. And I think it went okay. Though I am probably going to get slammed because I'm probably doing everything wrong, which always feels great. All right, chat. Then we'll do Winter Soldier in a little bit because I need to calm down now. Winter Soldier. What's the prep card? Does anyone remember the prep card I'm talking about? I'll find it. I'll find it, chat. Practice plan. I feel like this is the card you have to run all the time with them. For the other cards, not even for that card, but for practice plan for prep cards, I feel like you have to do this all the time now to return it to your player hand. Return it from your hand for your discard pile for his defense card. Yeah. Just get Bucky, be happy. I know, I'm right. And I'm not gonna put this part in the video, but again, I think that the amount of rules to play a card, like so a lot of people ask me too about like TCGs and why I enjoy TCGs over like LCGs a lot, especially nowadays. And again, I love Marvel Champions, so I'm not knocking it, but one of the things that's nice about TCGs is the rule book is so straightforward and just like how it works, and it feels so streamlined. And I feel like because, again, for the love of God, Tony, please, now you're taking over the game. I know they're working on a new rule book. Redo half of this. Make this simpler for everyone. Like, make this super simple. I think it will just improve upon everything. I really do. So I hope he goes through it, because I think Tony's actually really good at like redoing parts of rules. Because when he took over, he reworked a bunch of rules, and I think that has been really solid. And I think he's done a really good job of it. And I hope they let him kind of, again, make the game his own now, because he is the guy. And I hope they let him kind of like jigger the rules a little bit to make it just more streamlined. I think Marvel Champions in general could use that. I think that'd be really good. Oh, we forgot to check chat. Wait, did Gen Con start yet, or is that tomorrow? I don't think it started yet, right? Yeah, it's not yet. Because they're doing like stuff, right? For it. Like designer interviews or something. Speaking of Tony, do you think with all the changes that FFG Marvel Champions will do better or worse? What are your thoughts? Welcome, Cam. I will say, as far as that goes, I think Caleb leaving is not great, right? I am a Caleb fanboy, and I will not apologize for that. Tony is very hit and miss for me. I've used the baseball analogy all the time. Caleb, I love baseball. Caleb Grace is a single double hitter. He's going to go up there and he's going to get you a base hit. And base hits win baseball games. And for me, Marvel Champions has quote unquote won because they hit a lot of base hits. Sometimes they hit a home run, right? Sometimes they come up with a Winter Soldier that's phenomenal. And Caleb Grace shocks me and hits a home run. But for the most part, hits singles and doubles, and I will take that all day. Tony is a Jim Thome, Chris Davis home run hitter. Sometimes he strikes out and misses for me. Other people love him, totally cool. Just misses the mark for me. Sometimes Tony does something like Domino or X23, and I'm just like, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? Like this is amazing. So I think with it in his hands, for me, I'll get a lot more ups and downs, right? I will get some stuff that I really just don't like, but I'll get some stuff that I'll be like gushing over. That'll just be like, this is amazing. which is fine, right? We have so many heroes to play now. It's like, I don't need every hero to be a banger, right? I care more about villains now than anything else. I do not like that Fantasy Flight Games is not reprinting the older stuff. I don't like it. I think it's bad. I think it's actively bad, and I think it will actively keep people away from it. There's a lot of people selling their collection now because they're worried. Maybe their worry is for no reason whatsoever, and only time will tell on that one. I do not like that. I know people will say, "Oh, keeping all this stuff in stock for 5 years old is really tough." Other games have done it. I point to Ashes all the time. Everything's print on demand now. You can do it if you want to. Now, if the counter argument is that, well, Disney has licensing issues and all this stuff, it's a fair argument. Make that argument. Give us all the facts. I prefer open communication over anything else in the world. Be honest with us. If you can't do it because you can't do it because Disney won't let you, just be like, hey, our hands are tied, right? There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. Maybe Disney locked down and said they can't do that, and they're just in a really tough spot, and then I feel for them. I really do. So as far as Marvel Champions moving forward, do I think it'll be better or worse? I think it'll be status quo, to be completely honest. I think it will be, I think it will keep trucking along. I do. I think if Tony is allowed to redo the rulebook, not redo it, but like heavily change things to be more streamlined. And I think Tony is the most capable person of doing that. I love Caleb. I love Nate French. I love Michael Boggs, but I do think Tony is better at rule books than all of them, or at least with like clarifying and simplifying rules. If he's at the helm and they allow him to do his thing, I actually think Marvel Champions ends up in a better position because of that. If they embrace the quote unquote current environment and say like, hey, we're streamlining the rules, we're making it easier for new people to get in on the game because the rules are going to be simpler, I think it's a much better spot. And I really hope they do that. I really do. I think it'll be better. I think they should start right out of the gate with Fantastic Four, Daredevil, give us all the heavy hitters right away so that it puts you in a position that shows the game is strong. We're giving the players what they wanted, yada, yada, yada. I think that would lead to Marvel Champions continuing its success. I still don't agree, again, like I said, with not reprinting older stuff, because people are going to come into the game and be like, oh, I really want Captain America. Oh, I can't get him. I really want Doctor Strange. Oh, I can't get him. And you can say, oh, he's going to be reprinted down the line. Are people going to wait 3, 4, 5, 6 years for that? I don't know, but I wouldn't put money on it, right? So I don't think that's a good thing overall. So if Tony redoes the rules, if they quickly redo Hulk, Captain America, all that stuff, so they're readily available again, I think it will be good. I think it can be really, really good. And I want it to be really, really good. But if they don't not reprint, but redo like Captain America and all these like classic heroes and stuff, I think they're going to struggle a bit. And I don't want it to struggle because I think it's in a really, again, uneasy position for a lot of people because they're on the fence. They're worried about the game. I really think they should have done a better job marketing half this stuff with what the changes would be exactly. If you don't have all the information, don't give any information, right? So I think to summarize my random rumbling of thoughts, if Tony can come in and streamline this book to what he is capable of doing, which I've seen is great. Like honest to God, I think when he streamlines certain things in the rule book and comes up with the timing charts and all that stuff, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. If he can streamline and do that, if he can come in and do Fantastic Four, Daredevil, man, I don't think we have that many worries. I really don't. And even if for me, if his heroes or villains aren't like what I want, it doesn't matter what I want. It matters what the player base wants. And I think they really want that. And I think generally speaking, people really like his designs more so than I do. And that's awesome. Then the game will thrive and survive. I do think Final Fantasy. I think Fantasy Flight Games, once Marvel Champions has survived for years, it's probably their second biggest game behind SWU. SWU is obviously their massive moneymaker. Marvel Champions is probably a distant number 2, but it still makes them a lot of money. And I think if they do those things, Tony will have a great spot in great position to do that and will do great things with them. There are 2 new designers who I don't know as well. I'm interested. I'm really interested to see what they bring to the table. One of them designed Valkyrie. I know people don't like Valkyrie. I love Valkyrie. And they did other heroes too. So I'm really interested in seeing what they do. And it could be super fresh, interesting takes that, again, take this game to another level that we haven't really seen yet. So I'm cautiously optimistic for the future. Do I think that in like a year this game is going to tank and not exist? No, it's going to exist. It 100% is. It will easily exist through the end of next year. Easily. I think it will exist through the end of 2027 easily. Past that, as long as they do those things, I think they keep going along. I think the community is really happy. I think people are really happy. I think people like me and other content creators will continue to embrace this game because we do love it. We think the world of it. So yeah, I think it'll be fine overall. Especially if they do those things. If they don't streamline the rulebook, if they don't come out with Daredevil, if they don't come out with Fantastic Four, and they keep doing like really like quote unquote, B tier, C tier heroes, I think it's gonna be a little bit of a struggle bus until they get back on track. I think if their whole goal of everything is to get new people involved and get them in there, and you come up with like, I know there's fans of Tigra and Hulkling, so I'm not trying to like put down those people, but if you pulled the general audience, I think a lot of people, generally speaking, are not as excited for those heroes versus a Daredevil, versus a Blade, versus a what's his name, Ghost Rider or whatever. That's not it, I don't think, but whatever. A Fantastic Four. Like, I think they preferred them over anything else. That makes sense. A game is enjoyable when the flow is uninterrupted for, rule check. Tiger Forever, this is my biggest issue, is that if I'm playing through the game and I have to consult the rules nonstop, then, and I know probably 70-80% of the rules off the top of my head well, that's going to be a rough time for any new person to get in. Again, they keep stressing to us they want new people to get in. They want new people to get in. And I agree with them. They need new people to get in to keep the game going. It's just the rules need to be streamlined. They really do. They really, really do. I want it to be easier for people. We don't need so many interactions with things the way they have it. New games out of the gate with easy to table, easy rules, and continues that trend, win me over. Yeah. And I think we mentioned on this channel, but I guess I'll say it officially if I haven't mentioned it, is that I will be investing more into Caleb Grace's Star Wars deck builder game. I have the base box. I'm going to buy the second one soon. The thing with that game is that it is, I remember Nelson, I played it on Nelson's stream, Star Wars deck builder. Where is it? There it is. I played this on Nelson's stream. And beforehand, Nelson and I were talking. I was like, hey, how do I play this game? And he's like, no, I'll teach you live. And I was like, oh, okay. That won't be a nightmare. And it wasn't, because Star Wars Deck Builder makes a lot of sense. Like, it's very, very straightforward in how it works. And I think it's a good, fun game. And I think it just made sense. Like, we had to check the rule book like once or twice, and the rules for it, the rules for it are 32 pages, but some of it's like component and stuff, setup. Where's the actual like rules stuff? I mean, there's a lot of big pictures, so that takes up a lot of stuff. And I know like it seems like a lot, but like again, it shows like giant like sample games in progress. And then the actual like additional rules section, which for Marvel Champions is an entire 70-page rule book, right? Is a dozen? Oh, and then credits and some FAQs, right? So it's like not even a dozen. It's 7 pages. If even. No, less than that. 5 pages. 5 pages of additional rules with pictures. This is a lot more straightforward and easy. And I think Star Wars Deck Builder will do well because of that. Now, if they start adding in like an entire another booklet like they did for Marvel Champions, and it's 60 pages long, okay, that gets a little rough. But Star Wars Deck Builder, I think will do really, really well. And we're going to spend more time on this channel playing it, mainly because I like Star Wars. But it's just simpler to get to the table. It's simpler to explain. I just wish it had a solo mode. I really, Caleb, man. Come out with solo, please. Please give me a reason to play more of this game. Chris Davis mentioned? Dude, you gotta mention Chris Davis. I know people hate him because he was so jacked up on steroids, but he did lift up a truck to save somebody. It's my favorite Chris Davis story. Hey, ABD, welcome to chat. Mark, I don't understand what's happening with this wave, though. What the heck is a bonus wave? Only 2 heroes instead of 4. I'm so confused. I hope one day I can talk about it. I know insider information from like 2 or 3 people. Actually, 4 people now. Of what they're doing and why they're doing it the way that they're doing it. And I hope one day I can talk about it. I really do. And I wish they would be a little more candid about it. It is really weird calling it a bonus wave. They really shouldn't have, in my opinion. It adds confusion to it that shouldn't have been there. I don't know a lot of heroes before I play them. I'm not a huge Marvel guy, but I love the game and the crunch of it. BD, that's me. So I get a lot of people, they're not dunking on me on Reddit, but I guess they are, is that like I'll make a comment on my videos or whatever, and they'll say, oh, well, you know, this game isn't really about like the mechanics or whatever. It's about for Marvel fans playing Marvel. And I don't agree with that. I think, yes, I don't fully agree with that. Yes, this game does have a lot of great stuff from Marvel fans. I'm not really a Marvel fan. I enjoy the movies and I've read some comics, but I love this game because I think the mechanics are really good. I think it's really fun to play. I think it's amazing. And I think that for Marvel fans, it's nice to get those quote unquote B tier heroes. I hate calling them that, but as an outsider, I'm going to call it that. Sorry if that like offends anyone. But I think for me, like, I don't really care about that because it's just like, I just care about the mechanics when other people care about the theme, or they just care about the Marvel characters. And they're like, I just want to be Captain America. Right. So it's kind of really weird, but I think a lot of people in the community tend to think that, no, it's just for the Marvel fanboys and fangals. And it's not. It should be for everyone. And so if it's for everyone, you need to make the barrier of entry as low as possible. And you need to have the rules be as simple as possible. It's really hard when there's so many games coming out constantly every single year that have really, again, rule books that are much simpler. Like, why are they just not going to, like, why are they not going to gravitate toward this? Right? This is just so much simpler than if you went to a Marvel Champions game. Oh, my internet doesn't want to load. Where, okay, the rules are, okay, I learned to play, which is actually nice to have. I'm happy they have it. Is 24 pages. Most of the rules should be in this book, in my opinion. But when the rules reference, the new one is 62 pages long of just basically text. Very little pictures, right? It's just text on top of text on top of text on top of text that changes each time. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. And the barrier to entry should not be that high. Canadian, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Hey, I'm happy you're here and I'm not quitting yet. It's a really fun game. Star Wars deck builder. It is really good. I think there's issues with it, but it's very good. Hey, Martin, welcome to chat. I think the worst thing they can do is what you said about not reprinting their stuff and making it very hard and expensive to get heroes you want to play. Yeah. And I get, like, okay, if Valkyrie is out of print, how many people are going to miss Valkyrie, right? I will, but I already own her, so I don't really care. But the general consumer probably, like, won't, right? Like, they'll be like, oh, whatever. Right? Who cares? I think for things like Captain America, though, like that just doesn't make sense not to keep in print. I get it for certain heroes, but not that one. Maybe even Miss Marvel, right? Canadian, I really do hate what Marvel Champions rules has become. The game really isn't so complex that they needed to bloat it so much. Yeah, we were talking earlier about Falcon, and that maybe I'm getting the rules wrong, and this is why I don't like Falcon as much. But it should not be that complicated. It should be really straightforward. BD, I'd be all over Star Wars deck builder for his solo. I really hope Caleb does a solo. I mean, Caleb does a really good job with solo and seems to add to a lot of his games. They've alluded to more expansions coming out. There's a chance, right? And I really, really hope Caleb runs with it and does solo. And fix the middle row, please. Fix the middle row mechanic. Yeah. I have to play it again because I remember it being a little iffy, like cards getting stuck out there we couldn't really fix or get rid of and whatnot. So yeah. I can't commit to another 2-player game and wait for a second player to want to play along, play it among the many other great multiplayer games I have and want to play. Yeah, I agree. Hoping they explain at least something at the Gen Con panel. I'm hoping so. Once they do the Gen Con stuff, we'll review it on this channel. If it was made mainly for Marvel fans, we would have gotten Daredevil or Fantastic Four earlier. It's a good point. Yeah. I agree. And I get that they wanted to do like the Guardian stuff and whatever. But there are, I mean, was Spectrum somebody people were really clamoring for in the Marvel community? I'm sure there's Spectrum fans, but was it the big one? Probably not. Beast Node, DC Deck Builder is really fun. I know. I also really love the DC game with the Metal Batman set. Excuse me. I hear good things about it. I'm not ready to dump that much money into it. It's too much, chat. So yeah, that was my big to do with that. Ugh. Too much dust. I don't know, dude. Like I said, I really hope they fix the rules with it. I really do. Last Thursday of the month is tomorrow. Does Gen Con officially start tomorrow? Yes. Okay. Do they have anything tomorrow for it? Yeah, the Dark Knight Mellow Box is awesome. They just came out too expensive for that as well. That's cool. DC Legendary, dude, I'm hyped. They better announce DC Legendary and come out with it soon. They announced last Gen Con Marvel Legendary reprints, or I'm sorry, second edition, and we still don't have it, which is mind-boggling to me. Oh, in case they didn't chop an Oracle, that'd be nice. If they do, we'll talk about it. I would say get that Batman Metal set if available. It's a good starting point, and solo is good. Do you need anything else, like a core box or something? Gen Con starts tomorrow and Evo's this week. Okay, nice. That's nice. And I will say, there is 50 of you watching, and nobody chimed in on the Falcon ruling, except for one individual who clashed, right? And I think that just goes to show, again, nobody fully knows, which is wild to me. Or people are just like sitting there. And I mean, I'm getting more viewers now by the second. They're going, oh, D20. He just has no idea. I finally got the first few games of Legendary in. Awesome game, dude. It's so good. Falcon isn't worth my time. That's fair. Most of the DC deck builder is a standard. Okay. You can honestly get any box. They're all mix and match except for... Yeah, I didn't know if there was like a core box I had to get. But if I can just get the metal stuff, maybe I'll look into that. Ugh. Don't do this to me, chat. I just like cards. Play Bucky Be Happy Part 2. I know, right? I know. I missed the Falcon ruling. What is it? Hold on. Okay. This is Eagle Eye. Response. After you play an aerial card, discard the top card of the encounter deck. Okay. If I play Bird of Prey and there's a 0 cost boost, can I discard the top card of the encounter deck before resolving this card? There's a first box, but I wouldn't say it's a core box. It has the simplest mechanics. Okay. So yeah, if there's a 0 cost encounter card on top, or not 0 cost, a 0 boost encounter card on top, can I discard it before resolving that card to do this Eagle Eye response? Like, basically, are you playing the card but not resolving it, and then responding playing the card before you resolve the card? I'll weigh in a second how I feel. So you can literally start anywhere. Okay, cool. But yeah, chat. weigh in on this because maybe I've been playing Falcon wrong and maybe we changed things. Canberra, welcome to chat. I feel like there's so many games I want to get into, but so little money, especially TCGs. Yeah. So it's response. So if you follow the current timing chart, does response become happen before the action? Well, hold on. I don't think the timing chart does that, does it? Timing chart only really does things if it's at the same time. So I guess that'd be kind of this. Okay, but what's playing it? Is playing it just putting the card on the table or doing the entire thing? So like the simultaneous timing priority really doesn't affect this. So you resolve the card and then you discard. That's how I read it. Somebody in chat argued it's the other way because you're playing the card, like you're putting it on the table. Wait, did I just delete that? Hold on. Hold on. Let me pull it up. They argued it the other way. And I can see their argument. I'm not saying that they're wrong. Okay, so initiating abilities. What they're saying is that you play the card is played or the ability resolves. And the card enters play, blah, blah. It was event card, the effect resolved. But if any of the above steps would make the triggering condition of a responsibility true, that ability may be initiated immediately after triggering condition becomes true. Their argument is that before it resolves, you could do a response. And I don't think that's the case. I think you have to resolve the entire thing and then it responds because now the ability is true. That says may. So, okay. Let's really dumb this down for D20 because he's not the smartest man in the room by far. There's a spoon in here that's smarter. I have a 0 boost card facing up and I play Bird of Prey. Do you think after reading that sentence that I can trigger this ability before resolving Birds of Prey? Who writes the rulebook? That dude. It's Canadian. It's really bad. It's really bad. Ziggy, I think you have to play the entire card first before you could do the response since it's not a forced response. I read it as, generally speaking, for me, it's always been a response happens after the thing, right? I have to do the thing, which is this card, and then I can respond doing the thing. And I don't think, generally speaking, you play a card to just put it there and not resolve its action. I think this gets into like Black Widow and stuff like this with like Villain Theory's whole argument with Black Widow and like an attack starts but doesn't finish. It doesn't interrupt the first area. That's how I understand it too. Is that if I wanted it to have a 0 boost encounter card, and then I did Bird of Prey, let's say, I would then have to interrupt it if this was an interrupt to change that top card. But because this is a response, I have to play Bird of Prey first in its entirety. And then, because then I played the aerial event, then I can respond. Read the initiating abilities. Yeah. That's what we were looking at, Brombe. Also, welcome, Brombe. I don't know if it's that. So this is the initiating abilities, right? This is that section. And this is the main crux of it, right? All of this is like to determine if you can play it or not. Their argument was this step. If any of the above steps would make the triggering condition of a responsibility true, that ability may be initiated immediately after the triggering condition is true. So, because of the way they word this, the step true is that the card is played or the ability, well, I guess the ability resolves. So the ability didn't resolve, right? I guess that would be it. Like, it's weird that they differentiate played and resolving, I guess, is where the confusion comes from. Is that, are you playing it by putting it on the table? Or does that not count? Because essentially, like, I guess I would mainly deal with like allies, right? You play an ally, you're not resolving the ability of an ally, right? You're just playing the ally. But for an event, right? the card enters play, or if it's an event card, its effects resolve and then is placed in the owner's discard pile. So I guess that more so what we're talking about right now means that you would have to resolve the entire event, right? And then you could do the response. The ability doesn't resolve. Right. So since the ability didn't resolve, we can't do the response yet. We can't do the response after it resolves. Am I correct? Am I the crazy one, chat? I might be crazy. Like I said, dumb this down for D20 as much as humanly possible. And again, I've played this game for 5+ years. I agree with you, D20? Okay. If anyone disagrees with me, honestly, I want to know. I want to know if you disagree with me in the argument of why I'm wrong. And that's not to be like, haha, they're wrong, or blah, blah, blah. It's not that. This is how we learn. It says event card resolves. I thought just now in those rules. Yes. I think you're right. Okay. Okay. And again, to the person that brought this up originally, I'm not trying to dunk on them or be like, haha, they're wrong. I'm so much better at rules. Not at all what I'm trying to do. I think the way we learn this game is by doing these exercises and thinking this stuff through, right? So, and the rulebook shouldn't override what's written on the card. The card is responding to being played and resolved when the ability is being played. Okay. Canadian, yeah, I agree. Okay. But yeah, to be honest, like when people talk about live streaming and stuff like that, this is why I love live streaming, because of this kind of interaction right here. Because again, this is confusing and this should not be this confusing. It should be really, really, really simple, I think. In general, response happens after the thing. And the thing is playing the card. And playing the card means doing the thing on the card. What is ChatGPT? We ran it through before. I have to re-upload the rulebook to it because I had to go through Notebook LLM. And ChatGPT or Google Gemini, I forgot which we did, said that the way I thought it was. That because it's a response, basically it happens after the thing. Because it didn't read in anywhere that like you initiate the card and then it responds to the initiation of the card. That's not how it does it. You have to upload the rulebook to ChatGPT too, right? I can't give it the PDF file. It's like trigger the thing, finish the thing, then you trigger, then you get to respond to the thing that you triggered. Yes, Keith. Okay. Your rule interpretation. Okay. All right. So just to clarify, because this is how weird I am about things, so that we're all on the same page here. If there is a 0 boost icon card and I play Bird of Prey, I am stuck with that 0 boost icons. I cannot change it. I play Bird of Prey and I can throw away that card because I use it for 0 extra, right? So it's still 2 to 4, threw away that. Whatever the next card that comes up, let's say it's 0 again, who cares? I can choose to now discard that card again. So essentially I can get through like 2 really quickly if I want to. Chat, this should not be so difficult. This game isn't hard. The rules are just terrible. The problem is they keep like putting band-aids on all the rules that like weird people think of. And I think that's like 90% of the problem. I think when this game first started, the rules were pretty straightforward. And hopefully Tony hears this stuff and gives him the insight to really fix and clarify the rules. Amen, Sam. I also don't want this to be like a thing where people are like, oh, D Tony's criticizing. No, like hopefully they see, again, I know they watch some of these videos and some of these live streams. Hopefully they see this and realize this is a weird rule thing that like people have issues with. But hopefully Sam gives insight to really fix and clarify the rules, because someone at FFG is hearing these critics and going, well, that's not what it was meant to happen. Exactly. They do it in Hall of Heroes all the time. I think Hall of Heroes is one of the worst things like, I love Hall of Heroes. Brilliant website. I think them trying to band-aid rules this entire time is like 90% of their problems. Under response section 2, a response opportunity occurs immediately after its triggering condition has been resolved. Let's get the rules. Oh wait, that's ChatGPT. I wasn't gonna get into that right then. Hold on, I want to look at that really fast. That's a good point. I didn't even look up response. God, does D20 even know what he's doing? Response. Okay, Response. A responsibility or type of triggering ability indicated by the bold response timer chart. Responsibilities may be executed after a specific triggering condition occurs, as described on the responsibility text. Players can only trigger response abilities on cards they control or on encounter cards. Players cannot trigger responsibilities on Okay, that's fine. Multiple responses may execute the same triggering condition, but each response may only be triggered once per occurrence. Yeah, that's fine. Occurs immediately after triggering condition has been resolved. Opportunities to respond occur in player order. Once the opportunity to respond to a triggering condition has been passed consecutively. Okay, then yeah. Okay. I agree with all that. Which I assume it'll be eroded. I would hope so, but they could have fixed it by just making it interrupt. That you have to resolve the card playing. I agree with you, Brombe. It'd be interesting to do as an interrupt to see how Falcon plays. Okay, so I didn't go into this on my review because I like to not mention house rules. I did it the other way. It still doesn't make Falcon great, but it does make it better. It makes it much better and much more interesting. Falcon's Nemesis is rough. I only pulled it twice though. They needed to lock down the timing and early development. Yeah. It's a community. FFG needs to treat it like a community that they are a part of, not just an overlord and rules. Yeah. When the rules are 10 pages long and big pictures. Like I said, the big thing is the rules honestly should just be this learn how to play book. This should answer 90% of your questions. And the fact that it doesn't is not great. Where people told them it doesn't work how they wanted to and they just shrugged it off. Yeah. Oh, so that's what I was saying about Hall of Heroes. I love Hall of Heroes. Wonderful website. They have a Patreon. I suggest everyone support them. I think the Hall of Heroes rulings, though, are one of the worst things that happen to Marvel Champions because it adds so much layer of complexity and they have to fix issues that aren't issues. That's my biggest issue with Hall of Heroes. Yes to this rulebook, yeah. And there's so many people. I remember Queen of the Board. Love her channel. She makes absolutely phenomenal content. Highly recommend. I'm pretty sure she went through this book and read the rules and still made a lot of rules errors because this doesn't cover that much or enough, I should say. How much do you want to bet that with the current environment, they overhaul the rules and make it work, but with the older environments, they toss out older cards that would no longer work correctly? Lorem, if they... Also, welcome to chat. I don't know if I say hi. Lorem, if they do that, I will be the happiest camper alive. Honest to God, I will. I don't even care if it screws up most of my stuff. If it fixes the game moving forward, yes. Yes, 100%. Again, I want this game to survive. No, that's not even true. I want this game to thrive, not just survive. I want it to thrive. And in order for it to thrive, it needs to simplify the rulebook. And I, honest to God, trust that Tony can do that. I like what he's done with the rules with trying to simplify things. I think he's only been able to do so much because you can only band-aid so many band-aids on top of a band-aid on top of another band-aid on top of a band-aid. There's only so much you can do there. Let the man just work through it, right? And just come out with rulebook 2.0. They don't have to do a core 2.0. I know they don't really want to do that, which is fine. Whatever. I think they should, but that's a whole nother discussion. But at least come out with rulebook 2.0. Just say, hey, current environment now works off of this. All the old stuff works off of that. That's fine. That's fine. We fix so many problems that way, brother. We fix so many problems that way. And I know, for me as an old player and half my stuff, I might screw up things. I don't care. If, again, it makes the game stronger moving forward, rip the band-aids off and do it that way. But as far as betting, I would love that to happen. I would love for that to happen. And I hope they do. I really do. I think things would be a lot better if they just stay consistent with all their wording on the cards. You have a whole deal versus take damage versus dealing damage versus response versus force. Yeah. The problem is, I felt like it started off really basic and they just kind of kept adding random things that they thought would be cool. We got staples. I've been lurking. All right. James is easier to pick up and play, but Lord of the Rings action windows are easier in the timings and window. Yeah. Lord of the Rings. What's fascinating with Lord of the Rings is I used to think Lord of the Rings was a more difficult game. And maybe because I don't know how to read. Hold on, let me pull this up for a second. Come on. All right. So Lord of the Rings. Rules reference page is 36 pages, right? So it's half that of Marvel Champions. Now it's a whole text thing, but it's half, and it has a lot of pictures at the end, which is really nice. That of Marvel Champions. It's an older game. It's been out much longer, whatever. One of the coolest things they ever did for Lord of the Rings, which makes the game super simple. It's not that. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Nope. Oh, shoot. I don't know if I can find this that fast. I have it printed. Nope, that's a complicated one. Oh, I'm not going to be able to find it. Shoot, I'm not going to be able to find it. They had a fan-made Lord of the Rings thing, and I'll have to, it's downstairs. I'll grab it another time. Where, like, basically, after everything you do, there's an action window to do the things. Right? And it sounds complicated at first, but it's actually really simple because it's like, okay, this happens, action windows, do all your actions. Okay, then this next thing happens, all your actions. This next thing happens. And like, it feels kind of complicated at first, but when you really get into the groove of things, you're like, oh, this makes a lot of sense, right? And it's really simple. Here's me teaching my 10-year-old this game with these rules. My kid will be playing Pokemon. Yeah. Why would you not play a TCG? Lord of the Rings action windows are so easy to understand. I agree. I used to struggle bust with them because I was like, what do you mean I could do whatever I want in that window? Like, it didn't make sense at first to me for whatever reason. And then when I actually like figured it out, yeah, the Lord of the Rings action window cheat sheet. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's like a piece of paper like this big that I printed out, double-sided. Like it's the same thing on both sides, but I just double-sided it. It's brilliant. They should just do Crisis Protocol did and create a core 2.0, update the rules and keep the same characters and stuff and just move on. Yeah. Do you have a release date for Trickster Takeover? I think they've set the release date. It's soonish, right? August 15th. I don't know how to read. Novels come storming in and looks disappointed. And my job is reading too. That's the scary part. Arkham has a really good timing chart in regards. It's very well spelled out. Okay. Keith, the thing is with Arkham had MJ Newman. And MJ was incredibly good with rules, with character design, with making sure everything flowed. MJ was next level. So they had a cheater. Lord of the Rings Journeys is easy to play, easy to die also, but the rules are easy to play and just digest. Yeah. Yeah. I gotta find the cheat sheet for you all at some point. I don't know if I can find that really quick. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Just so you can see, like, Lord of the Rings card game. I need to find this stupid thing because you couldn't do it for Marvel Champions because there's so many convoluted rules now. And people made it more complicated than it has to be. No, Microsoft, I don't want it. Oh my God. Sorry. Microsoft's yelling at me. No. Oh, wait. This isn't it, but this is like it. This is basically the cheat sheet. It's in here, but this isn't the one I printed. But it's just like resource phase. This is what you do. Then actions may be taken by any player. Then you do the planning phase. First player plays allies and attachment cards. Actions. Next person. Actions. Quest phase. Then actions. Right? Encounter deck reveals a card. Action. Resolve the questing. Action. Like this at first I was like, oh my God, this is like overwhelming. But once you get into it, you're like, no, this actually makes 100% sense of how it works. Send me on Discord. All right, I'll check in 1 second. MJ Newman joining Earthborn Rangers may be really considered. Yes, 100%. When MJ was involved, I was like, maybe I'll take a look. Aren't you supposed to be at Gen Con? I don't go to Gen Con. I can't. Novels like is really busy at this time of year. I want to though, really bad. MJ mentioning Cloak and Dagger and Champions. Maybe really want Cloak and Dagger. I know, right? Let's see what Beast knows. Oh yeah, Beast knows. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah, that is actually exactly what it is. But yeah, this like if you print this out and put it on the table with new players, like 90% of the game will be understood in Lord of the Rings. This is what just makes it so much simpler. Love it. Brilliant. Brilliant. Chat, thank you for having this rules discussion with me. I greatly enjoy it. Honest to God, I do. Keep it simple, stupid. Through all the expansions, the game got harder. Yeah. I still love like when you read the interviews when they were talking about like the last expansion, and how much they were just like, we want to make this like really, really hard and really ridiculous. And they did a good job with the contracts and whatnot. It was really cool. I love how they ended Lord of the Rings. I think it's perfect. I mean, it's sad that it's done, but they're very much just like, we told all the stories. Wouldn't let me post it? Of course it wouldn't. Good old Discord. Doing Discord things. All right. I'm happy that an hour later we figured out how rules work. That's a D20 problem, though. All right. Did NJ also do Dream Chaser cycle? MJ did, yes. Yes. Yeah. No, not the whole cycle. Just the main box. So I think Caleb talked about this. So MJ did the main box. And there's what, 2 scenarios, right? In Lord of the Rings, not 3, I think. MJ did the main box. Then Caleb literally in one of his interviews said that the first or second scenario, I forgot which, was so brilliantly designed that the first scenario pack was just the same thing, but in reverse. Because he's like, I can't do better than that. He's like, this is brilliant. And it is. Dream Chaser, if you get anything for Lord of the Rings, get Dream Chaser. Those first 2 scenarios are brilliant. Dream Chaser as a whole is brilliant, but it's so good. Can you believe that there's an argument that Jaime Lannister could be Aragorn? Because the internet knows nothing. The internet knows nothing. Okay? Could anyone be Aragorn? I mean, honest. Probably not. Didn't Jaime Lannister get bested by Brienne of Tarth at one point? Or am I misremembering the books? I'm probably misremembering the books. And now I'm going to get judged by the internet. I haven't played it yet. It's good. I still like the one after it more. That's just personal preference. But I know we need to play Lord of the Rings again on this channel. We really do. What was it? The Haradrim cycle. I really like Haradrim. Man, if I had $1 for every who would win in a fight argument, I heard a comic store I ran. 1, that's awesome that you ran a comic store. And 2, that's amazing. Was there ever a consensus of who was the GOAT? Mark, played my first Valk game last night. Really, really enjoyed her. I'm so happy there were more true believers. Solo might be rough, but 2 players, she's great. Yeah. If she's focused, she's one of the best minion slayers in the game. And works well. Bit sad they didn't reprint Haradrim. I don't understand why they didn't. It's always considered the second best cycle behind Dream Chaser. Like, I just don't get how you don't reprint that. Jiren specifically, I think it was said that there is no other man that can match him, and he will be the one at the end of the days to finally slay Morgoth. God, I need to finish rereading Lord of the Rings. Haven't gone outside the Lord of the Rings lore. What is a good entry for the card game? Just buy whatever you can because they're going to stop printing it. Because the argument is depends who's writing. That's hilarious. Don't get me started on reprints. It's ridiculous. Read the sim for that tidbit. Oh yeah, I own it, but I've never read it. It's like a shorter book, right? It's only that thick in the hard copy. They said they picked the strongest 3. I assumed they would have dropped Angmar. Which one's Angmar? Oh yeah, Angmar is weird. I feel like people really liked Angmar because of the Dread Realm. There's really good cards in it. Or that one and the Battle of Karn Doom was good. But that's it from Angmar Awakens. But there were good cards in it, but still. Dr. Doom. Not biased or anything. I think all those arguments are fine. I love him. I mean, I don't get passionate about it because I just don't care, but I might print proxies. You should. Look, I never think people should print proxies for things that exist because I think you're stealing from a company. And stealing is wrong regardless. But if that company will not sell me the product, I tried to give you my monies. Please take my money. But if you will not take my money, then I feel like I'm in my right to just get a different way of, or getting it in a different way. Or Children of Huron, the Silmarillion, I always say that wrong, is considered a much harder read. It's like the Bible of Middle Earth. Maybe Genesis is the closest approximation. That's fine. I'll read that. 100%, yeah. I got in an argument about somebody with that once where I said that, and they're like, you're still stealing. Even if they're not going to sell it to you, you're still stealing. And I was like, how am I stealing something that I can't buy? Like, in order to steal, I have to be able to purchase the thing. If I can't purchase the thing, how am I stealing it? Dragon cards is also a good alternative. You're not paying for it, so you're not breaking any laws. I think it's a bit of a gray area, but I agree. If they can't make it so I can buy it legally, then I'm okay with printing it. Yeah. It fell off the internet truck and I picked it up. Same with video games. If there's no legal way to get it. Also, I will say that with video games, I agree with that. And I agree that like there are people who I will buy a game. But like if you do like Final Fantasy VII online achievements, you can't do it through the paid version on Steam. You have to get another version to run it through like the the emulator to like keep track of the achievements and stuff. I think you should be okay with that too. That if I purchase the game, but it doesn't do all the things I wanted to do, then I should be allowed to emulate it because I've already paid for it to emulate to do the things I want to do. Right? This is like Nintendo hates that, right? Nintendo doesn't want you to ever do that, which I think is wrong. If I still paid for the game, it should not matter what I do. I gave you my monies. Now I also happen to emulate it. If the options are $700 for a copy on eBay or proxies, I'm not buying it. Do you see a digital version of Champions on the horizon? No, I don't. I don't think they've ever really done digital versions of the game. They did the Lord of the Rings one, which really wasn't quite the same. So I don't think they're going to. I think they should. I think that's a huge money-making avenue they have not touched for whatever reason. I think they 100% should, but they haven't. I'm pretty sure that's the legality around ROMs of games. If you own it, you can emulate it. Perfect. Love it. I just hate that I always tend to download a virus when I get an emulator or a ROM for it. Or when I get a ROM, not the emulator. But, you know. Not the smartest guy in the room, so it happens. Hold on, just checking one thing really fast. Okay. It's an untapped market. The Lord of the Rings version was close when it was actual cards. I love it. Wish there was more. Agreed. I mean, obviously there's money to be had, right? I'm pretty sure Jamie Stegmaier is doing well putting all of his games on Steam. I'm pretty sure. I think he's talked about it too. There's no reason not to sign not the rights away, but to have like a video game publisher. Like this is what Awaken Realms is doing with their games now, right? And I think they've talked about it too, that it's a huge money maker for them because it gets more people into the board game space. And it also like they have all the work done, all the main work is done. Just come up with a basic like UI. Is this the new toe-to-toe? God, I hope not. I assume licensing gets weird for digital versions of stuff. I'm sure it's harder because they have to work with Disney. And I'm sure I like Disney as much as the next person. The mouse takes all my money. But I'm sure it's tough with that. So I get it. But with Lord of the Rings and Arkham Horror, there's no reason not to. especially Arkham Horror. Bought any Metallicas because I pirated their stuff initially. Now I'm an upstanding citizen. But I still know how to use Lorm, message me on Discord or Instagram or Twitter. Would be too much upfront cost. I think the way it works is that they usually work through a different company. Hold on. What's the company's name? I think I could 100% be wrong. So like Wingspan was done through the Monster Couch, which is their publisher, and they've done Calico and Flamecraft and different things. I think they take on most of that burden and they just get a portion of the sales, like maybe even the majority of the portion, which is probably why they can't do it for Marvel Champions because of Disney stuff. But again, Arkham Horror, they should be able to. And in this way, it doesn't cost you much and you just make some money, and some money is better than no money. I even think Magic the Gathering won't be able to put their Spider-Man set in the digital version. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I can see it. I know from talking to certain people inside FFG that the Marvel licensing stuff gets really weird really fast. And Disney is very particular about things. And from my understanding, when they did Lord of the Rings, with the licensing of Lord of the Rings, the Middle Earth, they were very just like, okay, they kind of go with the flow type thing, and we're very accommodative. From my understanding, Disney is not that, right? They are very hardcore on a lot of things, and actually like check a lot of things, and it's caused a lot of issues. They can, but what happens is when the license runs out and the image changed to whatever the magic art for that card. For Magic the Gathering. Okay. They have non-copyright proxies for online. That's kind of interesting. They never said they were done with the Lord of the Rings card games. I'm holding out for hope. If I win the lottery, my first purchase is a Fantasy Flight, and I'm reprinting things, making Lord of the Rings and Marvel Champions games. We've talked about how much we'd have to raise. I think it was like $200 million to buy out Asmodee, and we could just make all the changes we want. Chat, I'm not saying that's a goal of this channel, but I'm not saying that's a goal. I think it's good to have goals. And I don't think they'll ever be done. Lord of the Rings is interesting too, because they own, from my understanding, because all of its original artwork, they own the artwork on it. So they have repurposed a lot of those Lord of the Ring artwork in other games, which saves them money, which is really, really interesting in the way they do things. So I think they'll do other Lord of the Rings games, because they had the digital game or whatever it was. I guess Journeys, was it? Is that what it was called? Yeah, Journeys in Middle-earth. So a lot of the artwork in Journeys was from the card game, because they own the art to it, which is really interesting. Play the long game. Get in the mailroom of FFG and work your way up to CEO. I tried, man. Well, I tried to be their marketing manager. I sent them a whole plan and everything. This is how you do it. I hope they just take my plan, and whoever they hired instead, they just run with it. They can thank me later. Give me a free box of Marvel Champion stuff to give away. One day, chat. One day. All right. Should we review Bucky Barnes since it's already 11:30? And we got on a rules tangent for a long time. And now that I am calmed down from my Falcon review, I feel like we can do something a lot better now. Maybe. All right, chat. So let's do our review. And by the way, feel free to throw in comments and stuff like that. I'll get to it. Whatever. You got D20 Vuz working on cheap? Dude, that guy had no idea what he was selling. I own him. I own the German side. Except for those German content creators. But that's regardless. So feel free to put in comments. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me or have questions. I'll definitely get to it by the end. But so I want to review Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier. the hero that I did not realize that when this hero came out, that this is actually a Caleb Grace design, which is amazing. I'm really happy he came out with this because, like, again, I've talked about this where I think Caleb does like a lot of like good heroes I like. I think this was a phenomenal hero that I like. Plays it a little safe, but we'll get into it. So first, we'll get into the cards for Winter Soldier and go through them, and I'll give my thoughts as we go along. Make sure to like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. I really appreciate it. Or join the live streams because these people had fun discussing rules for the past hour, which is really good. And that's how we all learn. All right, so let's start with Bucky Barnes, the Alter Ego. 3 recovery, which is the lowest amount of recovery. I understand it's the most used, but it is still the lowest. He has 11 hit points, which is really nice, and a 6 hand size. He's a shield soldier and cybernetically enhanced with a cat in his back. Action, spend 1 resource of any type, search your deck and discard pile for cybernetic arm, and put it into play. I really like this action mechanic. They have an Alter Ego where instead of just like throwing away a card to get a card, you can throw away a card to play the thing. So I really, really like this. And we'll get into the whole cybernetic arm thing in a second. So as far as Winter Soldier on hero side, drops down to 5 hand size, which you would expect, 11 hit points, 222 stat line, which is a great shield soldier, a lethal protector, response after you attack and defeat an enemy, remove 2 threat from a scheme. Bonkers. This was so much fun. Now it does kind of line them up where you need to have minions and get minions out there. When I was play testing this, I ran, I think 16 games with Winter Soldier. I usually try to do 12, but I did more because I really enjoyed him as a hero. When you play non-minion scenarios, he's tougher to play. It's not impossible, but it is tougher to play. And having I know there is no limit. So you could just like slay 6 minions in a row in the same phase and it counts, right? That'd be 12 threat removed. It's nice that, again, it's not from the main scheme or the side scheme, it's a scheme. So it's whatever you want to do, which is crazy in my opinion. I absolutely love it. It makes them really, really strong. Makes them really, really fun. Just feels like you're doing a lot, which feels great. And again, it's not a basic activation. It's just after you attack. So it could be from your events or whatever. As long as it's an attack event, you're good to go. So let's talk about cybernetic arm. It's a 1-cost upgrade. Item tech card resource, exhaust cybernetic arm to generate a wild resource for an attack event. That event deals 1 additional damage. One is just crazy that this is just a 1-cost card to basically have a resource generator. That's absolutely amazing. The additional damage is just like a nice little perk, right? It's just a nice little extra thing it's got going on here. So obviously you're going to want to lean into the attack events. Again, it doesn't have to just be aggression or anything like that. Any aspect that has attack events, this will work for. Super cool. All right, Black Widow is his signature ally. 3 costs, 223 stat line. After you play Black Widow from your hand, return an attack event from your discard pile to your hand. Really nice. You don't want to Voltron Black Widow because you want to play her as often as possible. So when I was doing leadership and doing recursion build, it was kind of gross because I could just keep getting the same attack card over and over and over that we're going to get into in a second. And it was phenomenal. I would literally do the attack event, have Black Widow the next turn take the hit so that she would get knocked out and then get her back into my hand. Well, not recursion because I would just go back into play, but do get something else to get her back into my hand. I forgot what card I was using now. I'm already drawing a blank. And then playing her, right? That's the sequence that you want over and over and over. And it can be really strong and really good. So, yeah. Really good card. Get those attack events and then be able to span them. Arm block, 1-cost event. And actually, let me rephrase this. Even if you don't do that, right? Even if you just play her the one time, that is fine too, especially if you get his main attack card. It'll be really, really strong and really good. So you don't even need to focus in and like lean into that. It doesn't even matter. All right, arm block is a 1-cost event. Attack defense. Hero interrupt. When an enemy attacks, deal 3 damage to you. Crazy. If you exhaust the cybernetic arm, which would add it to 4 damage, to pay for this event, prevent all damage from the enemy attack. Bonkers. Absolutely bonkers, right? Super strong in general. You take no damage and you deal 4 back. Crazy. I mean, you will get retaliated if that's an option because it's an attack card, but it has to be for the whole arm thing to work. But it would deal 4 damage because, again, it's an attack event, and this is an attack and defense event. Love arm block. 2 of them in the hand. Metal Punch is his main card. 3-cost event, attack. 3 for 7 damage. If you exhausted the arm for this, it gains overkill, which is bonkers because basically it's now a 3 for 8 card, which is the old standard, not the new one, essentially. But to hit this on a minion to get overkill on top of it, so I'm dealing, a minion has 2 life, let's say. I'm dealing 6 damage now because, this now does 8 damage. And then because I destroyed a minion, it triggers my whole Winter Soldier lethal protector response where I get to remove 2 threat from the scheme. Insane. Absolutely loved it. And again, if you did arm block, it would also trigger it then too with the lethal intent response. So really love that. But Metal Punch is the card. There's 3 of them. You cycle through this as a solo player. If you deal 16 damage, wild, right? Absolutely wild. Again, play Metal Punch. Get to play Black Widow. Recur it back to your hand, the Metal Punch that is, and now you're doing another 8 damage. For solo play, I mean, that knocks out stage 1, does most of stage 2, a lot of stage 3, right? 3 copies of that card. Electrical Discharge is a 2-cost event attack. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. If you pay for an energy resource, which would be your wild as well, you get to stun the enemy. Really strong. I use this on the villain all the time. The 2 for 4 damage isn't great, but if I'm using cybernetic arm, it's now 2 for 5, which is pretty good. And then I'm stunning that enemy, assuming they don't have steady or stalwart, which is really strong. This is a really good card. I undervalued this card at first, but absolutely phenomenal. Really, really good card. I don't use it for minions though, ever. Safe House 30 is 1-cost support. Location Shield card. Exhaust this card to search for an encounter, or search the encounter deck for a minion and put it into play. Then you draw a card. Even if this didn't have the card draw thing and just put the minion into play, one, you're not revealing a minion, which is massive. You're putting it into play, which does trigger different things, or it doesn't trigger certain things, I should say. It thinks that's only alter ego, but that's fine. But it allows you to draw out those minions, right? It has to be the encounter deck, so that's the only downside, really. But it gets you to draw out that minion. So then again, I can murder that minion to remove 2 threat. Like, it's a really simple, like, step building process. If you team it up with the Metal Punch, now I can overkill on the minion, deal damage to the villain, plus I'm removing the 2 scheme. Phenomenal. Also good to draw out Quick Strike, so it fizzles 100%. If you're dealing with a minion with Quick Strike, absolutely phenomenal in that regard as well, because now they're not going to Quick Strike you, which is really, really good. I think, again, the putting into play makes this card so much better. And drawing a card, if it didn't have that, I would still love this card. The fact that it has that, even stronger in my opinion. Silent Infiltration, 2-cost upgrades prep card. Hero response: after you attack and defeat an enemy, discard this card. Ready your hero and confuse an enemy, which is also bonkers to me that you also get to confuse an enemy. Like, not even the enemy that you attacked, just an enemy. Whatever enemy you decide out there in the wild, you can do that. Really good. You're going to be trying to defeat a bunch of minions anyway. Does it stink that you have to discard this card? Yeah, but there's 2 of them, which is really nice. So the fact that, and you can have both out, right? It's not max 1 per player or something like that or whatever. Like, you can have both these out, which is really good. So being able to have that, you want to defeat a minion anyway. You defeat the minion. Now you can knock out the, or not knock out. You can knock out the minion. You can confuse the villain, let's say, which lets you flip back down to get a free, alter ego, basically, where you get to draw out another minion to draw a card and you have something else to kill, right? It's like a really easy, straightforward mechanic that's like, okay, it takes some work to get to, but once you get it, like, it makes sense when you line it up. And I really like that. Then we have his Winter Armor, 2-cost upgrade. You gain 3 extra hit points. It brings him up to 14, which makes him an absolute monster. And he gains the steady trait. Huge. If he just gave him 3 hit points, I thought that would be pretty decent. But the fact that you get steady on top of it, absolutely amazing, because you don't want to be slowed down by stuns. So this will help free you up a little bit. You still obviously can get stunned if you get 2 of them on you. But now you clear it out and you're good to go, right? Ready to rock and roll. His Winter Mask, a 1-cost upgrade. You gain the Spy trait, which I'll be honest, I never really did much with the Spy trait, so whatever. But after you attack and defeat an enemy, exhaust this card to draw a card. I mean, I'm doing it anyway. I'm removing threat. I'm overkilling. I'm doing all this damage. I'm stunning things. I'm confusing, whatever. Now I get to draw a card on top of it too. Super strong, right? Super, super strong. And then Winter Rifle is a 3-cost upgrade restricted. When Winter Soldier makes a basic attack, which is 2, exhaust this rifle to get +2, and it gains range and piercing, which tough was one of the things that could slow him down, but not anymore as long as you get this gun out there. The range thing is also really nice too. But now I can pierce off the tough, deal the 4 damage, right? And then go back to just slaying him with my metal arm or using electrical discharge, right? It's absolutely insane in how he works, and it's very, very straightforward in how the upgrades and the support really will help the rest of your cards. And I think, again, for me, it felt like I was powerful, but not overpowered. If you don't have minions out there, it does make it a bit difficult, right? You do have to kind of plan things out and be careful with what you're doing and all that fun stuff. So there is a little bit of challenge with that, but it doesn't negate him, right? He has no threat removal cards, but as a solo player, especially, if I'm going to be killing minions anyway, okay, but let's say there are no minions to kill. The fact that Black Widow has 2 threat removal, which, okay, I would start contemplating Voltroning Black Widow to keep up a constant threat removal. And I have 2 threat removal base. As a solo player, that's pretty good. Now, in a multiplayer game, you're probably not going to have Winter Soldier as your main thwarter. But in a multiplayer game, there should be more minions out there. And he is just going to slay all the minions and stun and confuse the villain and remove threat from a scheme and be able to support you in so many different ways. So he's really strong in what he does, but he doesn't 100% rely on it. And I think that's what I like the most about him is, again, I played him in scenarios where there were 0 minions and it was a bit of a struggle and I had to change my approach and my strategy things, but it wasn't impossible. It just wasn't as effective. But you Voltron out Black Widow, which again kind of negates the whole like playing from her hand to get an attack event. I don't even care about that anymore because I'm eventually going to get Metal Punch. I'm eventually going to get whatchamacallit, Electrical Discharge and a lot of fun stuff. I'm going to slay eventually anyway. So you might as well have Black Widow just sit there and just thwart for me all day. Especially then I confuse the villain. I pop down. Let's say I sidekick Black Widow. She'll heal right up when I heal. Good to go, right? So for me, Bucky Barnes was straightforward, fun, enjoyable. I felt good. Everything felt strong when I was playing it. I was just really just like enjoyable overall. I think from this wave, I really like Silk, but he might be my favorite overall because he's just so much fun. I really dig the art in the Black Widow card. Yeah, it's good. It's really good art. I don't think I've tried Bucky in protection. Arm block would be fun with Change of Fortune and Perfect Defense. That would be a good one too. Yeah. Easily the biggest decision point is deciding what event you use your arm on. Yes. That's like when your hardest challenge is, do I want to murder or murder less but stun? I think we have some good problems. Also good to draw out quick strikes so it fizzles. Yep. My favorite build has been Justice with Stealth Strike and the Raft. So much threat removal, and once the Raft fills up, you get to easily neck out for your next hit again. I meant to say minion, but my phone autocorrected. No, that's good. So wait. So much threat removal, and once the Raft fills up, you get to easily get the minion out. You want to hit again? Yes. Just got Winter Soldier yesterday. Excited to play. Dude, he's phenomenal. He's honestly phenomenal. He's a lot of fun. I know a lot. Again, people complain that he has no threat removal, which he does, but you have to have minions. If you don't have minions, lean into Black Widow being like your threat removal, or do Justice. You could do Justice, it'll be strong too. But because he has 2 thwart removal, which might be a little overkill for him, he probably should have been a 1-2-2 stat line. I think being 2-2-2 made him a little too strong for solo, but that's okay. I'll take 2 strong at this point. Not an issue. Because he's that, I'm not leaning into like attacking that much with my hero. Like I don't really need to, because my events are so strong, right? And you're probably gonna be putting in more regular events in your card too. Like no matter what the aspect is, right? There's attack events for every single aspect. So you're probably gonna be putting them in there too, because you want to run them with Cybernetic Arm to deal more damage off of them, yada, yada, yada. It's really good. Thor, Fury of the God deck, and Bucky against Green Goblin. There you go. But yeah, as far as this wave goes, again, I like the decent amount of the heroes from the wave. Winter Soldier is probably my GOAT right now of this wave. I think he was fun. It's enjoyable. There's some strategy to it. There's a little bit of depth to it. It's a little bit on the simpler side. So again, besides the threat removal stuff, you might not like the threat. You may not like the lack of threat removal. I think people that play a much longer game have bigger issues than I did for it, but you could be so aggressive with him and overwhelm the minions and the villains so incredibly quick that it was just, again, it was something like I felt like I never really worried about. And he works well in every aspect, in my opinion. He worked well in aggression, justice, protection, whatever you want to do. In protection, he played a little bit different, which was nice. In leadership, I played him a bit different because, again, I was kind of sidekicking Black Widow, which is pretty standard build now. but you could do that, which feels good, right? It feels good to play it different ways. Even Justice, you would lean into more of the thwart stuff, but you focus on the attack stuff too, because of how Cybernetic Arm works. So yeah, loved Winter Soldier. That was absolutely phenomenal. Highly recommend. If you're gonna get one hero, I think from this wave, it's the one to get. I understand some of the complaints, but I think it's just so good overall that I really don't have any. I really don't have any. I really enjoyed it. Every time I play him, I've enjoyed it. So yeah, those are my thoughts about Winter Soldier. I was trying to look through the rest of his cards really fast and see if there's anything that really stood out, but I don't really think so. That was the only like quote unquote downsides. Like his aggression cards are fine. No, that's not true. I just haven't messed with firepower and stuff enough. I think that's more of a D20 problem. And like Bambino, I need to mess with more. Yeah, I was just looking through it. Oh well. Oh well. All right, we can X out of that. All right, chat. Thank you for listening to all my ranting today. Firepower Venom with Bambino is crazy. That's what I hear. I think Ziggy ran that. Somebody ran that. I feel like I watched somebody do that. Or maybe they were just talking about it, and they just talked about it in such a vivid detail that I could imagine it. I used it with Thor too, using Yarnborn. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I feel like aggression. Like I know a lot of people are like hating on aggression because like I read all the time in Reddit that people are upset with aggression because there's like not enough to do or it's not enough like going on. I don't know, man. I feel like aggression's all right. I mean, the problem is protection is so well-rounded now that it doesn't feel like protection anymore. Maybe people are comparing it to that, but like Justice feels like it's not getting a lot of like as much love. Or I mean, leadership really isn't either. But I feel like aggression's in a really good spot as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know. That's a weird thing for me. Oh well. All right, chat. Hey Ziggy, good job being #1 fan on YouTube. I just saw that. Can you essentially attack for 8 with Yarnborn on the field and then attack for Thor with 3 more? Oh, so you can essentially. Yeah. Have a good night. Canadian can read the room. All right, chat. I'm going to get out of here. I'm tired. My throat hurts. We did too many rules things and now I'm exhausted. We'll be live Friday, Novels and I, before we go to SummerSlam. Super hyped. So I'm sure we'll talk about that. We'll do whatever. I'm hoping I can trick her into playing Star Wars deck builder game. I know you do. So yeah, I'm hoping that we could do that. I'm not 100% sure what we're going to do, but let's hope that. But yeah, I appreciate you all being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to my rants, all that fun stuff. Join the Discord if you have not yet. I need that link to go to YouTube as well. Join Discord if you have not done that yet. But thanks for hanging out. We'll be here Friday, and then next week's schedule should be normal too, and all that fun stuff. Appreciate you all, and I'll see you all Friday. Take care.